Ooh, let's go. Good evening, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. Hey, Ricky.
Hi.
I'm ready. What's it called? I ain't had time to make an alcoholic beverage, so I'm drinking Ollie Pop today. Sorry, I was running behind y'all today because I was trying to catch up because I've had so many comments this time around about my thoughts and people saying, I don't know if I can agree with you. I was like, okay, Robert. I thought about wearing black too.
I just put this over my pajama top.
I was like, man, oh my God, hold on, let me put this back because I don't know if you can see. Can you see the topics?
Yeah, I can see. I'm a little
Okay.
blind, but
I ain't gonna lie, because that's why I was like, ooh, can y'all see them? Oh my gosh. Yes, 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 yes. We are talking, y'all. I wish this was cold. I don't know why this is. Let me try to slide this up. I wish you would do that.
yeah, I've seen all of the things that Uche posted on his Instagram today. I'm gonna do a video on it after this. Did you see him,
I
Robert?
was thinking, I did see them. Yeah, y'all. I have notes tonight because I didn't want to come ill prepared. I have a portfolio full of notes.
Honestly, wait. Hold on. I have notes too. Hold on. 1 second. Look at my pajamas.
I am. I'm slightly late. I'm like 5 minutes late because I was trying to finish the episodes. Hey y'all. Hey. Um, I should have taken a picture of what he said on his story, so I was very accurate. But I know the sum is the premise of what he said.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, if y'all have not followed us, make sure y'all follow us. Like this up, y'all. We're just waiting on who we waiting on? Aisha.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm drinking Olipop. What are you drinking tonight? Water?
I didn't even get a drink. Like, I don't even have fucking water. So I'm gonna just be over here parched.
And y'all last week, y'all, if y'all was on the live last week, y'all know we were like trying to go off of our minds and we were like trying to go off orders and everybody was commenting. So this week we made an itinerary. If y'all don't know, there's an itinerary. We're gonna be going from point one to point 8. So these are the topics we're gonna talk about. Let me do a question. Let's see if I can do it. Ooh, okay. Wait, no. Hey, let me do a question. Oh, interact. Never mind. Y'all, let's get a question in here. Oh, why does it do that? Oh my gosh. Um,
Hi guys.
hello. I ain't gonna
No,
lie, y'all.
you said Diamond.
I've been
You
pushing
just
this
started.
live all week. Huh?
No, I was talking to Diamond. She said, "Did I miss the Love Is Blind tea?" And I said, "No,
Oh no,
we're
we just
just
started.
starting."
We just getting starting.
Is Aisha on yet? Did you send her the
I don't
request?
think I sent her the request. Um,
Tea is brewing. Hasn't been served yet. Love that.
uh,
Oh,
I'm
Aisha's
trying to get
here.
y'all.
She's there. She's in the comments. Aisha's
Is she
here.
in the comments?
Yeah,
Oh,
she said I'm here. Oh my
oh,
God. Yes, Royale, that was
okay.
the catfish account. She sent you a DM too. What did she say? I'm so
Who's
mad
in
about
here?
that. You guys. Oh,
Hey.
your hair looks beautiful. Oh, she looks so good.
Can you hear us, Aisha? Can you
Can
hear?
you hear us? Oh.
We can't hear you. Hold up. Can you hear us?
I can hear you now. For some reason with my ear,
Okay.
I can hear you. Let me know if there's an echo or anything. I can fix it.
You look so good. I love your
I
hair.
brunch earlier, so I'm definitely brunched out. But this is not sponsored. But Nick sent me like a brow kit, and they sent me these glasses. They're doing like a game, and so I'm like, how appropriate to drink out of here.
Yeah, that's so good.
Dude.
Hi, everyone. We have an
y'all, make sure
itinerary today.
we are just starting. If y'all are getting on this live, we just starting. We just got everybody on here. Like I said, I have an itinerary up here, 1 to 8. We're gonna stay on topic tonight. So we're gonna stay on
Is that
topic.
better for my light
So
or this?
are y'all ready to get into number one? Let's get into it. The first topic we'll be talking about is
But
JP.
first off, Rob, I thought you had a hair pick. I was like,
No,
is
oh
he
no, it's just
picking
my
out
pen.
nothing?
Oh no, I used to. Somebody said you were such a high school teacher, and I love it. I'm weak. Yeah, it's really about to be a long night because y'all, this week was actually very crazy. But yeah, let's go, y'all. Let's talk about JP and let's talk about Taylor. I'll let y'all go first on this one.
Go ahead. It's like, where to even
Okay.
start?
Let me just start with this. I'm very proud of Taylor for, I think she's 26, maybe 20. I don't know. I'm very
25,
proud of
26.
her. She's 25, 26. I'm so proud of the fact that Taylor refused to let that mute of a man play in her face and about fucking makeup. Like, he's 33 and okay. I'm just proud of her for like being like, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do, getting her shit and leaving that night. I feel like it is so easy to like cave or bend, and men are usually subtle with like squeezing that in, not on day 4. But a lot of people have encountered a man who's given them an unsolicited opinion about the way they present themselves. And so I just like that she was like, fuck no, you sound crazy. And she left that night, gave him back the ring and kept going. And so I just think that was good for people to see. I think this season has had a lot of subtle toxicity that can be in relationships that's more common. And so, yeah, he also sounds fucking crazy. What 33-year-old man who sleeps with women is going to be like, I don't like that you have on makeup, and she just looked cute with her makeup and she looks cute without. So like, I think he wants a different type of thing.
Do you think that he wasn't attracted to her at all, and like that was just an excuse because that was people's theory?
I don't know any man, like, she looked really pretty with her makeup on and she looked pretty without. So I just like, I don't I'm good off of him. I don't know, where was he on January 6th? He just gives nothing, and he's a mute. So like, I don't know. She deserves better. I don't know why he's on the damn show. What did he come on here for?
I don't know.
One thing about it is, in my mind, at the opening of the pause, if you watch the show, that this kind of your moment to look at each other in your best and however you feel most comfortable in somebody seeing you. And the fact that he like took that time to diminish her, that was the first time you actually saw her. And if your attention was not on the fact that this is going to be my wife, but on the fact that, oh, I think she's wearing makeup too caked on, your focus was wrong. You coming on the show in the wrong time, and that defeats the purpose of Love Is Blind. And I don't honestly. I mean, I personally wouldn't like if I didn't think her makeup was cakey. In my opinion, I don't know makeup, but in my opinion, I don't think her makeup was cakey. So for him to kind of diminish the fact that, oh, it's awkward because you had a full face of makeup was really a cop out. Like somebody said, a cop out. It really made me uncomfortable for her. And at first, y'all know, last week I really wasn't feeling Taylor. I was like, I'm still kind of on the board. But honestly, in that moment, I honestly felt for her and I felt bad for her. And I guess I was finding myself to be team her because, excuse me, I felt like she came to the resort in a manner of I want to get to know this person, and he wasn't putting himself out there in the same manner.
So do you think
she was also insecure? She was insecure about her eyelashes and makeup when they had the reveal with each other, and she was like, "Oh, these are my fake lashes," and she was, being playful about it.
Yeah.
And when she said, and when he was like, "Oh, it's all fake," I was like, "Why would you tell her that?" Like,
You didn't look like a real person.
Also, that's the most they talked. Sorry,
I
go
was
ahead.
torn because I'm like, I didn't know, like, some people were like, he didn't like her and it was a cop out. And then some people were like, oh, like, she was out of his league and he knew that and that, like, made him uncomfortable. But I'm like, I think Taylor's a cute girl with and without makeup. And, like, the nerve of you, to comment on anybody's looks, because I think we were all being real nice trying to like skip over the fact that you look 47, you know what I'm saying? And you have the nerve to like talk about this girl's looks? Like, I was like, oh, okay, game on. Like, we're about to drag you.
Excuse me. And I think also
Looking like
another
Wally
thing
because I am.
another thing was I said I don't feel like he was her type as well. Like that was her necessarily type, but I feel like she was kind of willing to work through that fact because she actually wanted to see how it would go through, and it was just very embarrassing. Like on his part, like I was like going for it, but the way he would not say anything to her, she's trying to interact, and he just
He's not deserving of like the way that he showed up. He gave nothing to go off of. I don't think he knew what to do. It was like a human being in front of him who was interested. She was trying. She was grasping for things, and the fact that I think he had to get drunk to like tell her about what he thought about the makeup, and he kept harping on like, well, you won't change and you made everything awkward. And so I'm like, please run, leave this man all the way alone. I just don't like that type of toxic like energy from a man. The fact like you can have an opinion that you prefer this, but like that's an opinion.
Right.
It is, and I think he just
trash.
I think it just really diminished the fact that he said it's awkward because you wear too much makeup. Now, like
I hate the way he kisses. Someone just said that he's a horrible kisser, and I felt fucking bad for her. The moment I saw him kissing her, he was horrible.
He was like hard. It was almost like they were kissing to avoid talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me fill this silence with like a fucking even more awkward kiss. It was like,
and no range, no variety. I was like, damn, I'm tired of the way he's kissing her.
Yeah.
The next day, I just thought, wait a minute, why did they kick him out? The next day, I just thought, wait a minute, why did they kick him out? Hold up, y'all. Hold up, y'all. Okay, I don't know. Wow.
They kicked us out. I don't know what happened.
It really kicked him out, but I just did not like that. So y'all have any but yeah, I thought she was gonna take him back, but when she was like, oh, like I think it's not gonna work, and she was nice enough to give him a hug because she shouldn't have gave him no hug. I thought she could have kept that, but at least she was nice.
I'm trying to see what other thoughts I had about them, because I definitely was like, I don't even recall them in the pods, what connected them, because he was so boring. And honestly, towards these last 3 episodes, I kept being like, why do we keep looking at them having this same fucking conversation about him not talking? And then I forgot that there were not enough couples for them to like produce and show. So I think the show needs more people. Like,
which is really weird that 4 other couples got engaged and they chose not to show them. 4
Are you serious?
Couples. Yes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
that was what was reported. There was other couples that got engaged that they don't report, and I think that goes
the whole production team, y'all. Fire them, hire us.
And I honestly think that goes back to production, because I honestly don't feel like they want to get people who don't have a connection to somebody else. I feel like they love that triangle. Like they're harping on the fact like the Lydia, Milton, Aaliyah, Uche, that works because those two mesh. They have drama with each other. Then you got Johnny, Chris, who are not engaged. You have Stacy and Izzy. Those two kind of mash together and make that. And then you have JP and Taylor.
Did Carter match with anyone?
He matched with Renee. They're married now.
Who?
So that Carter and Renee are married. Somebody just said that in the comments. I heard they got engaged, but Carter and Renee are married.
Is Renee black?
Renee's the one. She was the one that was talking about the cookies in the episode. I don't know if she's the blonde.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she's the one that I liked, where I was like, ooh, she has the energy. I kind of thought there was a vibe.
They're married.
Well, did you see in the scene where they were on the couch, it was real subtle, but Carter said that he really liked JP, and JP was the type of man he'd want his daughter to marry. And I was like, women.
When he said Captain America, I was like, that let me know.
You
right
got
there.
me all the way fucked up. Like, your men don't want anything for you, so you better want something for yourselves, because your father may want you to, like, Carter was the burly man who said brother, which was a little like red flaggish, but I think is he the fisherman?
He's the fisherman. Mm-hmm.
Very camo.
Him and JP, him liking JP like makes sense to me.
It makes sense.
Like, I think he was with JP on January 6th.
They give MAGA vibes, y'all. But
yeah.
Brother, I don't know. Brother from a white person is uncomfortable.
When white men say brother and they like wearing camo, it's a little bit like, is there a pickup nearby? Or am I safe? Like,
I don't know.
But I liked Carter.
I did like
That's crazy. They're married?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch.
They dropped the ball not following them, because, like, I think the producers need to catch this L, because the fact that there were other couples whose stories we would have been more engaged with.
I'm gonna come back to that topic. Hold on, let me write that down. Production, because that's going. I got a production.
Does anybody else know who the other 3 couples were that got engaged? In the comments, do you guys know? I'm sure I could look it up after this, but I know it was 4 for sure.
They filed marriage license, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm not one of those spoilers. I don't go looking for no marriage license, to be honest with y'all, because like I like to be somewhat surprised.
Yeah.
But are y'all ready for? The
I don't need to be surprised. Yeah, we can go.
I already know who because people always spoil it for me.
Like people like I always say, and like and when you get to a certain point in your platform, our platforms, people send spoilers all the time, so we're so used to saying it, and we try not to like say it. Especially me, I really don't. Like, I barely even watch the trailers for.
I'm gonna spoil all the shit, y'all. Like,
I don't like spoilers. Okay, so y'all, if y'all in here, make sure y'all like this live. Come on, like it up. We're gonna move on to number 2. We moving on to topic number 2. If y'all are just joining lives, we have a whole itinerary of what we doing tonight. We are going to topic number 2. Make sure y'all like this live. Make sure y'all follow all 3 of us, and let's.
Well, just so y'all know, we're not giving spoilers beyond. We're only talking about up to episode 7. The stuff that we're talking about, the other couples that got married, they're not featured on the show. So those are not spoilers.
So it's not really a spoiler. If it's not on the show, we can talk about it. Like, but we're not going to talk about anything pertaining with the couples now that has to do with a spoiler.
So it's safe to keep watching.
It's safe to keep watching. Okay. My profession, that's a good question. Y'all are going to be very surprised. I work in the funeral business. I work in a funeral home.
Shout out to Phaedra Parks. It's like giving Phaedra's funeral business.
Okay, but topic number 2, we're talking about Milton and Lydia. Milton and Lydia, for those who are on the topic, we talking about Milton and Lydia. I have no words for it. I don't have nothing. So
are you serious?
I literally was watching their reveal. Like, I was like, ugh. Like, to me, it also seemed like they had awkward silence and were just kissing to like fill that silence. We all know Lydia is desperate as the day is long, so she's just gonna love anybody. And
let me add one point. And before y'all start talking about her and Uche, we're gonna talk about her and Uche later on. We just talk about her and Milton.
Rob's head. His background has the order that we're going in, so we've only gone through number 1 yet.
We're on number 2. So Milton and Lydia, it's very awkward to me. I don't know. I really don't have nothing for you. I really don't have anything. Like, I don't have no notes for them. Go ahead.
The moment that they had the reveal, and we know Lydia is like, she's in hunting mode. When they saw each other and he picked her up and she started kissing him, I was like, poor Milton does not stand a fucking chance. Like, she is choosing, like, I could see Lydia, I think, is like pretty. Well, I think she's very, very pretty. So I think that a lot of men, physically, that's their type anyway. So I just, when I saw the way that they were together, I was like, oh, he's 24. I was like, sir, pack it up. She's going to be in here as long as she wants to be. But I kind of like their interaction. Something I don't like is how much he fucks about, he nags her about how she speaks English, and I'm like, she's bilingual. Like, it's kind of become annoying to me where he's correcting her English. I don't really care for that.
I don't know if that's like their thing to like rag on each other, but it was like they were low-key roasting each other. Like, you have a big head, you have a small face, you are young, you're an old fucking grandma bitch. Like, and I was like, do y'all like each other? Because he keeps calling her old. And talking about her accent, and she just keeps talking about his looks. Like, you look 12. You look at your mustache. Oh, you have a big face. You have a big mouth. I'm like,
Yeah. They do it to each other, and it's like, honestly, that's like one of my pet peeves. And I'm a Cancer, I'm too sensitive.
me
So the
too.
way they go back and forth, that would be like, we can only play for so long before I'm gonna be cruel, or
It
we just like, I
starts
couldn't
before we
be with
start
a
not
person.
playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Like, before I hurt your fucking feelings, little boy, and send you to your fucking bedroom, okay? Like, because this shit's about to get real.
He like is too young to be on, and he seems like he's a mature 24-year-old, but it's kind of like he's too young, y'all. He just seems so fucking
Yeah,
young,
he's
like
too.
when they're interacting.
And when somebody said they're overly PDA, absolutely.
I think they have
Somebody,
chemistry. I don't think it's overly. I think that that's the thing they have is like sexual chemistry.
somebody asked my son. I'm a
I,
Capricorn, just so y'all know. Not the
uh,
opposite sign.
I'm a
Not
Taurus.
oh,
Um,
not too much. Um, but yeah, do y'all have any more
I
thoughts?
mean, I just think like I think they don't have any chemistry. I think that Milton's way too young for her. I do think
You
he's a
don't think they
mature
have chemistry?
24. I think that Lydia would have sexual chemistry with a box. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not Milton. It's literally anyone. That's all she's got, right? Like, everything else about you sucks. So you're going to use your beauty and the fact that you're Puerto Rican and Latin and you're sexual. Like, you'd be fucking sexual with anybody. So no, I don't think that it's Milton. It could literally be anybody.
She does seem like someone who's on the hunt for like not a sponsor, but like an emotional. I think she wants like to be codependent. So she seems like she would latch on to anyone who would like be nice to her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she seems like someone who truly is using what she has, but like wants is I don't want to say desperate because it's like
She's
I don't
desperate.
know.
She's desperate. I'll say it. She's desperate. Like AF.
She just seems like someone who hasn't healed and wants to be loved and is gonna find it wherever she can find it, and then
Yeah.
whoever's giving her attention. But he's too young, but
Mm-hmm.
I think they have chemistry. Like they seem like because she's kind of childish too, a little bit to me. So I
But
don't know.
it's
They
like I
don't.
think their chemistry lies in the fact that they make jokes about each other, and that's only gonna last so long. I was literally about to say a fucking spoiler, but let me run back. I don't think it's
Somebody talk
going to
about Lydia.
last.
Watching y'all talk about her, I'm screaming. She probably is.
I don't think that they're going to last by any means. Like I just think I like I said, I think she'd have chemistry with anyone, sexual chemistry with anyone, because she was gonna let whoever get in them guts to like prove that she loves them and like, oh my god, like this is what I've been looking for my whole life. Like, production needs to stop casting 24-year-olds. Like they just do. Like, how are you on Love is Blind? This should be a last resort, okay? Not your first option. Like, have you
And
tried Hinge?
and somebody asked, what did y'all think about the meeting between him and her parent, like her mom and her brother? What did y'all think? What do y'all think about that?
I think her family seems to one love her, and I think also they're just kind of like wanting stability. It seems like they want her to have stability, and
Yeah.
he's not a bad guy, y'all. He's young, so I think that it's like yeah, he's young, but he seems like like a respectable guy who says that he cares about her, and more than anything, I think her family would love stability for her. She
Yeah.
seems like a lot, and so I know like her brother and her mom said if when she gets pregnant, we're dipping. It's your fucking problem,
Right.
essentially, like playfully. But I think they just be happy for her. These last 3 episodes made me like Lydia more. I was like, Lydia's annoying in the beginning. She's exhausting, but I kind of can be like that. I'm a Leo rising, so like I can kind of be annoying and exhausting when you first meet me. But I think that like these last 3 episodes made me not dislike her as much. It kind of gave her a little bit more balance. Yeah, she
Um,
is looking for a tether.
Yeah, not me. And I think these episodes like made people hate Uche more. So you dislike Lydia less, but it's really just like you hate Uche more. So I think Lydia's just as annoying. I think about her family, I think same thing. They want stability for her. They want her to settle down. They think she's at an age where she needs to get married. So it's like, okay, you
Yeah,
found somebody, great. You know what I mean? Like, do this, you know? And and that's just what it is. She's like, I'm gonna ride this fucking wave. Like, I caught me one. I caught me a fish, you know?
Someone's confused. Okay, y'all. I'm a Cancer sun, I'm a Leo rising, and I'm a Gemini moon. So, like, I think that those big three, we have Beyonce has her big three. Those are my big three. Also, there's a lot of people loving Rob's facial expressions right now. Just a shout out to that.
I'm gonna keep my thoughts. Y'all ready for the next point?
Damn, I'm shocked though that y'all aren't like.
I have stuff for the ending part. That's why I put the boring topics in the beginning. So because I have a lot to say towards the middle end. Okay.
I like Milton's roommate. Sidebar. I liked his roommate. I think his roommate's interesting, and I'm like, oh, he seems like he has a nice friend group.
So we moving to topic number 3, y'all. We on topic number 3, which is Stacy and Izzy. We're not going to talk about the fight yet. The fight's going to be next. But we're just talking about them in general, just a couple. Make sure y'all like this live. Run the likes up, y'all. Make sure y'all follow all 3 of us. Run the likes up. Heavy on the likes. Let's talk about Izzy and Stacy just as a couple.
Izzy is damn near a hobosexual. I think that, like, he literally is a hobosexual. He thinks he came the fuck up. When he walked inside of Stacy's house, when he was in her car, he was like, damn, I could get used to this. He pulled up and was like, man, the 85-inch TV is going to be over here. He was so fucking comfortable. And, sir, you only had a job for a week, and then you took PTO, and you're doing a career transition, and he just...
No, when he was talking about I just did insurance, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Funny story, y'all. I moved to a different city to do insurance, and I quit in 3 days of moving into a different state. That's how much I hate insurance. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I told y'all, Stacy, there was something about Stacy. It was just gonna come to me that I just did not like. And my thing about it is, it was a whole facade when she was in them pods talking about, I just like to have fun and I don't want to talk about anything deep and we're just going with the flow. Now all of a sudden, y'all out the pods and the money is the biggest situation because y'all, Johnny May already done aired him out and said his credit score is low. Secondly, if money, look at me, y'all. If y'all on this live looking at me, don't go on this show and not getting them pods and ask the stuff that is important to you. If you are used to living a certain lifestyle, get somebody that can accommodate that lifestyle for you.
But Rob, Stacy wasn't taking any of them seriously. She has no emotional depth, and she was really light. I don't think she was serious in the pod.
And then it got to the point, I'm just like, why are you doing this? Then she talked about, like, the thing might go out, and then you got $20,000? No.
Nothing costs what did she say? No air conditioner costs $20,000. I follow an AC repair guy on TikTok. His videos are really good. He comes in and cleans it. It does not cost $20,000.
It doesn't cost 20, but it costs a lot because my mom just got hers redone and it was 15 racks.
And I was just like, and my thing about it is, it's just like, and it seemed like her family it didn't seem like her family really cared about emotions on how she was going to be taken care of, which, I mean, I'm not going to judge you for that, but it's just like, she picked the wrong dude. If y'all was talking about, she's like, oh, Stacy likes to travel, Stacy likes to do this, Stacy likes to do
Love likes to fly first class, and Love needs a roof.
Yeah.
And it's just...
Yeah,
I feel like she just picked the wrong person if she wanted the lifestyle that she's accustomed to. Like, I saw the YSL bag on the counter. I don't know if y'all caught that. I peeped money. Then when she went in her closet, I was peeping the color boxes. I was peeping the color boxes to see what they had. So it was just like, if you wanted somebody with money, then you should have been kind of adjusting that thing.
I don't know if she wants someone with money as much as she seems like she wants someone who's established, and Izzy is not grounded or established. And I think more than that, he doesn't seem to have any foundation to care for himself, and she's very established, so she's just gonna fold him into her life. I don't know what her dad does, but it gives me the energy of a woman who has her husband start working for her dad, and I can see the power dynamics in that. Like, the fact that the dad is like, oh, I'm gonna end up having to care for y'all, it's fucking weird to me, y'all.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that Izzy or Stacy were necessarily looking for anything serious. That's why they didn't cover any of this stuff in the pods. Like they knew
Yeah.
goddamn well neither one of them were going to get married. That's why it's like, okay, we're going to do what we have to do to make it out of these pods and get more airtime. And we know we're not getting married at the end of the day. So none of this really fucking matters. Even though Stacy, he's giving me Gold Digger, he's giving me Bartice and Nancy part 2, he's giving me like, oh, maybe. Like, I just hit the fucking jackpot. But I think Stacy was like, I don't care. I wasn't going to marry you anyway. Like, this was all for airtime.
No, that was before she fucked him, because if you think about it, once they had sex, she seems like she's really into it now. Like she's there, she's so on him. He looked fucking tired, y'all. There's scenes where I know they're tired of filming sometimes, but she seems so like excessive and exhausting. I saw Izzy laying in the bed where he did that slow blink. I've talked to a man long enough at night when it's like, can I go to sleep? Like, so I saw that slow blink he was doing. I think that she's gonna keep him around because he's emotionally deep, and she said that it throws her for a loop that he's so masculine and he's good in bed to her and he's emotional and he challenges her and won't run away. And the way that she ran out of the fucking house and went outside, like, and he followed her, I don't think she's used to having a man who's like,
And that's what her
going to
dad
stay.
said. This is the most emotional he's seen her with a guy.
Because
So I
he's a
definitely,
homosexual. They have to do something to stick around. Where's he going? He
and
loves, he wants
then
to live there.
Somebody in the comments said that people are saying that his apartment was an Airbnb. What I found interesting about his apartment is, remember Johnny said like, oh, the bad credit score thing, and she was like, and she told me he just moved into a new place. He said in the episode that he had been there for a year and a half, but he still had U-Haul boxes on the floor,
Saw
and the
that.
place looked very like new. I'm like, and I don't know if you guys saw the TikTok of the girl that was like, oh, like I'm watching this episode and realizing that he worked in that, like he lives in my building, and he went to the manager trying to break the lease. Like Izzy's giving broke boy.
He's
also
a fuck boy for sure.
Broke boy.
a lot of people are
A
talking
broke
about.
fuck boy.
Somebody's talking about, oh, what did y'all think about the plastic plates and forks? Personally, that wasn't. I use plastic forks, but I do have a set of. I do have a regular set of stuff. Now, y'all know black people. We use plastic plates through the week.
Yeah.
Then on Sunday when we have Sunday dinner, we gonna use the good china for Sunday dinner. But I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like the way she made it seem like he was broke because he used plastic plates. It was not that deep. Like,
Yeah.
She's materialistic, and at the end of the day,
she
it's
is.
like, go fuck the guy that you were fucking before who had the nice silverware but didn't follow you outside when you were mad because he has money and he's not about to deal with this shit. Like, and I'm not saying that you can't have everything, but I think that she's focused on the wrong shit.
Yeah,
It
I was
absolutely was.
really confused about the fight. I was like, are they fighting over plates and cups? Like, because I don't think there's anything wrong with her wanting to use, like, my mom's like that. Like, you bring her a plastic cup, she's like, get me a glass. You know, my grandma, I would never take her a paper cup because she bougie. So it's cool. There's nothing wrong with wanting a plate. So I don't think he was right for calling her materialistic for that. I just think you have a preference.
I think
But I
it was
also don't think there's
materialistic.
anything. I use paper plates all the time.
Someone
I think
said,
the way
nah,
I
the
think,
silo stacked like cups in the cabinet was too much. I thought, like, oh, he's organized. Like, he actually had it stacked like it was real.
and my thing about it was,
Yeah, you should have had
I
it
say
sound like
material.
it was real.
I say materialistic because the way she was so aggressive, like I'm not aggressive, the way she was so passionate about it, I was just like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like if she's like, oh, like I feel like it would have came off better if she was like, no, we got to go to Target today to get you some. Like I need some
She
glassware or
wanted
something.
him to care enough that it would have mattered to her that he performed. She wanted him to perform. And he was like, I wanted you to see what my life was before. And he's kind of fucking lazy because he doesn't seem like he's ever put energy into women. Because he said, I've never had any complaints. A fucking lost and found. And he
That
knew
was
Let's
whose
talk about the
jewelry
lost
that
and found.
was.
Let's talk about the
Whoever's
lost and
jewelry
found.
that was, if you're watching this live right now, let's talk about it. Because I know that he knew whose shit that was. And I know they saw him. He didn't throw it out. I would have been so mad that he threw my shit away. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, like the lost and found, I feel like Stacy had a good point. If you truly do not know who this shit belongs to, why do you have it? And it's also like you directed her to it. Like, I don't necessarily know that she would have known that that was there unless you told her. So it's like you wanted her to know. Like, in one breath he said nobody really comes over here, to I don't have any complaints, to I have a whole fucking lost and found drawer for the how many bitches I be having over here. And I'm like, okay, well, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have, you thought that lost and found drawer somehow made you look cool, and it made you look lame as fuck.
People are saying those were his trophies, and I agree. And I like that she's grown enough to be like, I was fucking people before I met you too, and I respected you coming to my place enough to get rid of the shit because it doesn't matter. And so I'm more on her side when it comes to that. I just think that the way that, like, girl, you're fucking a broke fuckboy. Like, I just think her expectations, like, Izzy made a great point. He says that she's used to fucking dudes in their 40s. And men in their 40s can still be trash, but they're gonna like perform. They're not gonna have a lost and found. Like, they're gonna keep you from seeing certain things. And he was like, I'm 29. Yeah, this is what you're getting right now.
Yeah, take it or leave it is like basically what he like.
Can I ask y'all a question? So when she was with her family, I just wondered, like, her family seems to really like him for her, but I wondered, what is it that she offers him outside of, like, stability, maybe? Like, what does she offer him emotionally? Like, I couldn't tell.
That's a great, you really touched that question, because
I mean, I think she offers him stability, and that's it. Like, but you know, but maybe that's all he needs. You know what I mean? Like,
I just wondered if I was his family, like, watching him with her family, I kind of was thinking about where are his people to kind of hold her accountable, to be like,
I think they meet his people in the next episodes. They meet his mom in the next episodes.
I hope his family shows up for him, because I feel like it's a lot of, you're not good enough for me. And, like, I grew up with a mother who was the breadwinner, and, like, my dad was a stay-at-home dad, and my mom liked having the power and the money. So I have grown up around that dynamic, and I just am, like, interested in him not being as established, but having the desire to. Because I'm like, you want to travel, but you just got a passport, which is fine. Start somewhere, but they're so disconnected.
Yeah,
I don't see how
they're not compatible at all.
You definitely,
I feel like she's gonna hurt his confidence. She doesn't seem like she's gonna build him up.
You had a good point right there, because she really does not offer him anything. But was she looking for him to offer anything from the pods? Because if she was looking for something that he was offering, then I feel like she would have asked for it in the pods. Which
I feel like what he offers is like
dick,
sex, and she talks about it. And she talks about it.
Yeah. Ew.
I mean, can we also just, I have to get this off my chest. Her makeup is so fucking harsh, y'all. And, like, I just wondered if JP meets her, like, if JP's gonna be looking at her like this, like, don't hug me. Like, it may get on my shirt.
It might on my too.
Oh, Izzy's income did go up with Stacy. I have so many screenshots of Izzy inside of Stacy's house smiling, inside of her car smiling, at her parents' house smiling. Izzy thinks he fucking nailed it. He is not gonna fuck this up.
He said, I am blessed and highly favored because I hit the
hot. So people are talking about her eyebrows and the blush. It's just stage makeup.
She needs to blend that contour out. I feel like that shit is like
I think the producers hate her.
Like, blend that bitch. Like, she definitely, like, for I think on her, like, it says she's like a makeup artist. It's like, for you to be a makeup artist, girl, you sure don't know your shade.
She's a makeup artist,
and she looks 40.
Who said that?
And she looks real old.
Oh,
she's a makeup artist. Her Instagram.
I need to go follow her online. Someone said that she's basically Amber from season 1, and I think she is. When her dad was like, "Do you need to disclose any financial stuff?" I was thinking about Johnny being Jessica. Like, "You're broke."
Johnny, shut up though, because you wanted his broke ass. You would have you would have been paying all them motherfucking bills. Okay, bitch, so don't.
Is their argument next, or is that later?
Yes, they're next. Okay, y'all. So we are moving on to topic number 4. Topic number 4. Make sure y'all like this live, y'all. We almost to 20,000 likes. Let's get it to 20,000 likes, y'all. We are moving to topic number 4. Topic number 4 is the Izzy and Johnny convo / argument. Make sure y'all liking this. Make sure y'all follow all Follow all three of us. But yeah, like this, follow us. We're talking about four. We're talking about the whole the Izzy and Johnny conversation. Would y'all like me to go first, or would y'all like to go first? Because I have thoughts, and people were getting on me about my thoughts. Honestly,
Go first.
No, go first. Let's hear it.
okay. I thought the conversation needed to be had. I don't think Izzy was wrong for how he approached the conversation. I feel like Johnny May got caught up. Now,
Where's
think
Sydney? Is Sydney joining this live? Okay, I'm just like, because Sydney be giving you the smoke sometimes.
She does. I feel like, yeah, somebody said, I think the conversation was right to have. The approach kind of got harsh. And I think that's because Stacy put a little battery pack in his back. Because, like, the conversation had to be had because I definitely feel like Johnny was playing both sides. I definitely do think she was playing both sides because I personally, Johnny, I don't know. Johnny does not appeal to me. I don't know. It's something about her that I just did not like because the fact that you can go in a pod the same day, break up with a man, then go tell a man you want him, he break up with you, then go back to the same man talking about that, and she got double talked. Like she double talked.
But that's the whole show, though, Robert.
Yes,
don't you think
exactly
that's like the show, though?
But Aisha, on the same day?
That's the show.
That's the show.
I don't know.
If something doesn't work out,
don't
then
agree.
move on, or you
I
miss
don't
your
agree
fucking
because I feel like
opportunity.
she was really like I feel like she was getting tongue tied because my thing about it was I caught this. I had to go back. Let me see if I wrote this.
Oh my God, you
how
should
she
know.
said
You do not
it
like
was
this
crazy
woman.
because it was crazy how Johnny said that she had an emotional connection. She didn't have emotional connection to Chris. Y'all, let's go back. I want y'all to listen to me. She said she didn't have emotional connection with Chris. She said, I have an emotional connection with you. I want to leave here with you. If I don't leave here with you, then I don't want to stay. This is what she said, y'all.
She said, I'll think about you for the rest of my life.
Then,
She did say that. She be laying it on the dick.
Then she went and told Mr. Chris that that Mr. Izzy was emotionally unavailable. How did that work if you emotionally connected to each other?
So I agree that Johnny, she lied. Like I know some people, like she was like, oh, how did I lie? Like, but when I watched it, I viewed it as Johnny told both of them the same things about the opposite. Because she did say, I don't have an emotional connection with Izzy, and then said, but I connect with him emotionally, and that's not usually what I go for. And then she literally said the opposite to Chris. Like she told Izzy, Chris is the safe choice. That's what I always go for. And then she told Chris, you know, you're the safe choice, and Izzy's what I always go for. She definitely lied. Unless I'm tripping.
And it was just the way I don't know. I think honestly at a certain point you had to be honest because y'all see at first she said I did not say that. Then she later took it back when he started to get more like, oh okay, I did say that. Did y'all not? I did not catch it.
What if she got confused because it's such long
days. I don't think she was confused. I don't think she was confused. Johnny to me gives that she gives. Like she wants somebody to love her regardless of who it is. Now she's sick because she did not get her pick. Now she wants to go back. I want to play with that. I think we're mostly connected too. But I just don't. And then I think she didn't think they were going to talk about it. The biggest thing, I don't think she thought they were going to have a connection. I don't think they was going to talk about it. I just don't. Something about her just irks me. I just can't get
in the comments, are you team Johnny or team Izzy? Because I feel like
do a poll.
Yeah, let's do it.
I know they're gonna say Izzy. I know they're gonna say their team Izzy, but
no, I just want to know because if I had to pick, I honestly would pick I would pick Johnny, but I also don't like Johnny. Like I thought it was
for
so
the conversation
dramatic.
that they had, like the argument they had.
For the conversation, I was on Izzy's side.
Okay.
I hate to be that person.
For the conversation, I think for the conversation, I got what Izzy's point was. He was trying to call her out for being two-faced.
He just did too much.
And I think we missed a lot of the conversation because it was like really chopped and screwed. It was really chopped and screwed. But
you can tell they triggered each other.
I hate so much that Johnny just cries about everything. Like, why are you in the camera crying? Chris is like the best person I ever met. Like, why can't
he touched my hand and we was at the airport and he touched my hand? I immediately knew it was him.
ate that up. I was like, see, it was meant to be. That I was like imagining as she was saying it that he like walked away, then walked back and touched her. Like I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And then what happened?
Okay, so somebody explain it to me. If that was their first encounter, right? That was their first encounter. Like obviously she recognized his voice. He walked away. How did he know it was her? Grab my hand. The part that bothered me was like, I just knew I loved this person. I was like, I'm in love with this person. Girl,
well, they were connected. I think that, but think about it. They've been spending all this time in the pods, and I think that like when something ends, you pivot. And I think that like when you're there in front of a person, who's to say that Chris wasn't more her type than Izzy anyway?
Well, why?
And she had never seen
Why does
Izzy.
it have to be? I'm in love with this person. Like, why are you laying it on so fucking thick? Like, you just told Izzy yesterday that you will never forget about him. You're gonna think about him for the rest of your dying days.
She remembered how broke he was, and she snapped the fuck out of it when she was in the airport and not in a pod.
Okay,
she was like, "This is real fucking life."
So in love with Chris now. Like, you just wanted to say you love
Chris is your pick.
He's my man, so she needs to back up off him. No, I'm just like
she's like, oh my god, Chris is a good fucking thing. I almost fucked my life up with Izzy. Like Izzy don't have anything.
That, and that's fine. Say that. Say I'm glad we're moving forward. I'm glad Chris forgave me. But why do you have to be like, he's the best person I've ever met, and I just want to be more like him every day? And like the minute he grabbed my hand, I just knew I loved him. You just told the world that you've never loved anybody. Now you all of a sudden just love him because he grabbed your hand.
Wait, is she the one who didn't love her ex, but she loved the ex?
And now you love the man who grabbed your hand.
Who is ever? So what I didn't like about their fight is that one, they trigger each other, and I don't like men getting too hype with women like that anyway. Like I don't like that because I think Izzy, you're doing like too fucking much.
I would say he did go a step too far. The conversation needed to be had. I feel
she
like he
triggers him. That's what it looks like when she triggers him. He can't help himself.
Yeah, and I don't think. Are y'all related? Oh no, we're not related.
Yeah, we are. He's my cousin.
On my
we're
mama's
cousins.
side. And I just think it just I don't know. And I think the fact that I don't know if he saw in her that she was not going to tell the truth, or he was just going to make it seem like that, and that's kind of what triggered him. But it just, I did think it took too far. And then when Izzy was trying to go back to Stacy, because Stacy reminds me of Amber, like when she's talking about, I should have pooped in the cookies and gave it to her.
Yes, I'm happy that they showed those girls talking about it, Renee and the other girl, because it's like, oh, they're giving you a little crumb of how petty Stacy is and how bothered she really was by everything.
Should have pooped in the cookies. I must have. Yeah, her accent was really thick in that scene, so I really didn't know what the fuck she said. I was like, huh?
I like Johnny, y'all. She grew on me. I kind of like crazy, like a little like crazy, like dramatic person. But who is everyone that? Izzy said that everyone thinks you're sketchy, and I was trying to think like who doesn't like her.
No, nobody. No, what I didn't like though, guys, and maybe we didn't see it, is Johnny went back and told Chris, like, I forgot what the fucking line was, but she went back and told Chris like some shit that Izzy did not say. Wait, I gotta find it because I know I wrote it down.
Let's see.
Also, there was a point that
everyone was Stacy. Everybody was Stacy, and when they said that Johnny was talking shit about Stacy, did you hear when Stacy was like, "Oh, I figured out early on that we like the same guy, and Johnny didn't know." And so I think that at some point Johnny figured out and was like, "Fuck this bitch, who's known this thing." Like y'all, they're not going there to make friends. The only people that went there to make friends was Lydia and Aaliyah, but I know we're talking about them later.
Yeah, no. When she said that, this is what she said. She told Chris that Izzy said, "I know how great a guy he is, and you're a piece of shit." Izzy did not fucking say that. But Johnny told Chris that
he essentially said that, though.
He kind of implied. People said shit when it's on camera, and they didn't fucking say that.
If you can't say word for word, leave it on.
Do you not think he implied that, though, the way he was talking to her? Wasn't he implying?
Saying somebody implied something and saying somebody said something are two different things. Maybe he did say it and they cut it out, but she literally went back.
She was paraphrasing. She was paraphrasing. I get what you're saying. Like, don't verbatim it because it's not true. But I think that, like, Izzy's energy was like, fuck you, you're a liar, you're not shit, you don't deserve him. And it's like Izzy's only been in a townhouse for 3 days, and you can't tell him shit. So he's feeling real good with Stacy's stuff, and I would have humbled him.
It was crazy. Also, it was crazy to me when Johnny was talking about, "Oh, you don't know me at all." Baby, you was trauma dumping on the first day. He knows you, baby. Like I'm saying, she talking about you don't know me, you don't know nothing. But baby, on the first day, you was talking about your ex who's in rehab, who
Didn't he die?
He
yes,
died.
who you loved,
Oh,
who like obviously
not a
you was
laugh. Sorry.
like what else was there to know about you? Like it was Johnny was
Rob, you
all over
just
the
don't like her. Rob, you just don't like her. I can
But
tell you just
also
don't fucking
Izzy
like
being like,
her.
let me give you some advice. Like, Izzy, you
that was too
don't give
far. That was too
nobody
far.
advice,
That was too
okay,
far.
sir?
That was too far.
Please.
When
Please.
she said, I don't want your advice,
Let
I
me
was
give
like,
you some
please,
advice, Izzy.
thank
Get
you.
some bigger fucking pants.
Somebody I
Izzy
don't
was Izzy was feeling too. He was feeling the fuck out of himself, and in that moment, you can see how people change it up real quick. And I'm happy that like the women walked away. So we have Taylor walking away from JP. We have Johnny walking away from Izzy. We have Lydia walking away from fucking Uche's ass. And so I like that they show these women being like, "You're fucking a goofy. I'm gonna go over here. I'm done talking to you." Izzy
Yeah.
did
and
too
y'all
much.
and also I'm seeing a lot of comments. Y'all, I just want y'all to know I'm not team anybody on this season. I just favor somebody in a certain situation. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not the biggest person to Johnny because I maybe I don't know love. That back and forth to me was just off. But y'all be Team Johnny all y'all want, which is fine. But I just didn't connect with her. I
I
don't
like.
like her.
Do you like Johnny and Chris together? What do you think of
I
that?
do. I do.
I'll
I
say
think
my
they're a good
opinion.
fit. I think they're a good fit. I think they're cute. I think Johnny fucked up picking Izzy in the first place. Like, and I think that Chris was the better pick for her, and she should have went that way in the first place.
Okay, are y'all
Rob,
ready to
don't
talk
save
about?
your opinion. This is where you say the opinion. What is
No,
your opinion on Izzy
I don't know.
and or I'm sorry, not
I
Izzy, Johnny
I
and
think
Chris?
I think Chris could do better probably, but that's me. I I just that's why I'm really not rooting for anybody on the show, y'all. I just want y'all to know I'm not rooting for
I like the
anybody.
way that Chris consoled her. Though when he
It
was
was
like,
on.
I never said he was like, oh, he's just saying shit. I was like, Chris also forgot the conversations him and Izzy were having, but I
Right.
forget things too. So I'm a it happens. And yeah, Chris can do better. Chris is there because he wants to be, y'all. Like men like
Yeah.
crazy
That's
women. Like at times. Like it's
and good thing you said that because that's gonna lead us into point number 5, y'all. We are talking about topic number 5, y'all. Make sure we are at 27,000 likes. Let's get to 30. Let's get to 30 likes, y'all. We're moving to topic number 5, and we're going to talk about the Uche and Aaliyah conversation. Now we're talking about both parts, which is the phone conversation that they had in the beginning. Uche. I hope I said that right.
you did.
Then we're
You were saying Ouche before, I think.
I said Uche. We're gonna talk about the Uche conversation where him and they had on the phone in the beginning of episode 5. Then I did see the story, so we'll talk about a little bit of what he said on the stories. Then we're gonna talk about Aaliyah and his conversation at the restaurant. Then his stories kind of wrap into this. I had a lot of people in my comments this week said like they questioned my opinions on a lot of stuff. So I hope all y'all on here that do like that said this is ready to tell y'all story later on. Anyway, y'all want to start with the phone call? Y'all go ahead. I'll let y'all start with the phone call. What did y'all think? What were y'all opinions?
I'll let
Because
Rick I'm gonna let Ricky go.
some people thought he was very honest and thought it was too right. Then a lot of people agree with me and thought it was wrong. Y'all go
Okay,
ahead.
so I think initially the way he got at her was wrong. I think that Uche, I think we've seen a pattern of him like invalidating women's feelings and like trying to minimize his part and stuff. So that I felt like, but the part I did agree with him on was I did feel like Aaliyah was focusing a lot of her energy for Lydia on Uche. You know what I mean? I even thought that when they spoke in the pods where she's like, well, she keeps telling me stuff and she's smothering me and she's this. And it's like, those are things you should have addressed with her, not Uche, because he can't help what the fuck Lydia's doing. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like in that aspect, she should have addressed some shit with Lydia, not take it out on Uche. But I do feel like Uche is a fucking raging piece of shit. And I don't like how he deals with women. Like, stop trying to minimize your part. Like, oh, it's one day. Like, you only have to spend one day with her. Like, no, actually, we have to go on a whole trip after this, and there's a lot of shit we have to do after this. Like, but I feel like he tried to make his part seem so small. Like, and the fact that he got off the phone with her and, like, I don't want to talk to her. Like, I was just like, Now the ball's in his fucking court. Now he's just made himself the fucking victim instead of even trying to hear her out or care about what the fuck she was feeling. That's
in my opinion, I will say, I think Aaliyah was wrong for not saying why she was leaving. I think
100%.
I think she was wrong. I think she could have said it. Now, did she owe him anything? She didn't. But I felt like she could have said what had happened. And because I do believe in the thing where he was like, she was unblocking him, then she followed. I believe she should have said something. I feel like she should at least wrote a letter. Like he said, he could have wrote a letter. But I do think the way that he kind of minimized her feelings, I did not like. That's what kind of threw me off. Because I felt like he forced her to accept certain things. In my opinion, I feel like it was just like, I'm gonna tell you this, and like, because I feel like Aaliyah, I ain't gonna lie, Aaliyah really disappointed me too. Because the way that he was giving her the energy about cheating is the way he should have given the energy back about the whole Lydia situation. Is how I felt. And I think the fact when he said, let me quote what he said. He said, "You let some girl get in between us." My
Some
thing about it
girl.
is, that is, you said that's your ex, that you made clear that that was your ex. So why is it okay? Like, now I get if it was a different, like if it was a girl that he had a not one night fling with, that's cool. Like, I get where he was coming from, but it was somebody that he actively knew, and they were in the same feelings. And y'all, he said on his story today, I'm reading that they never dated, but he said we dated multiple times on the show. Like, I went
He
back to
said
see
they were
what he
never
said.
in a relationship. He never dating and being in a
He said
relationship
they
are two
never
different
dated. He
things.
said they never dated is what his words were. He said never dated, but he
Him and
stated,
Lydia.
yes, he said him and Lydia never dated. But he still stated several times that he dated it. First, he stated it when they were when he was announcing, "Oh, it's somebody I dated was in the pods." Then he was like, "Oh, you're gonna do something with some girl that I dated." Like
But
y'all,
I
like
think on his story, he said we were never in a relationship. We were dating each other and we were dating other people, and she knew that. And he
but
even went as
it's
far. He
but I
even
think
went as
that's a
far as
difference.
to say that in production, like when they asked them, they asked for all of their exes. So he was like, if Lydia thought that I was her ex-boyfriend, she would have told production that, and therefore they would have known that we were exes. That's what
But
he
my thing
said.
He's
about,
I'm not.
because
I'm.
are y'all saying dated in relationship are two different things? Is what y'all telling me?
They're two
Because y'all,
different
he said
things.
that, like,
They're two
because y'all
different
saying
things.
he ain't say it. I could pull it up now.
So what I'm thinking he was saying
He
is
said
that they were
he
not
said they were never in a
exclusively in a
relationship.
relationship. They
They
were
were
like
not
they're
exclusive,
dating.
is what he's saying.
But the thing
Yeah,
is
like
that
they was
okay,
fucking around.
oh, he's horrible, y'all. He is like the way that okay. So at first, I'm happy that I watched the full episode before I made any
Hold up.
content about it. Because at first, I was thinking even a broken clock is right twice a day. And I think that when he started describing the way that Aaliyah was following him, then blocking him, then sending him a voice note, then deleting it, blocking
That
him,
was a
it was
lot.
just very fucking childish. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that's a lot for her to like leave, but think they're gonna stay together. It felt immature. But
It
then
did.
when you think about the way that he is positioning Lydia is like he's a lawyer. You have to also remember he's a lawyer. So and I think that Zach is probably a better lawyer than him too, sidebar. But I've been listening to him describe that like, oh, she's crazy, she violated my privacy. And it's like you were cheating on her. Like
But was
like
it cheating
when you
if they
catch
were
someone up
dating?
in a my thing is this is you if you have to say, oh, I was lying to you about something that and then I told you the truth. To me, Uche finds like the gray area, and he's very fucking slithery. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's the perfect example of a corporate fuckboy who will play in your face, gaslight you. He's a narcissist. He centers himself. When he was telling Aaliyah like what about me, you're not thinking about me, I've dated someone like this. And so not to project all our own shit on this, but like it just reminds you of how someone takes anything about you and spins it on them, and he does it so
He
effortlessly
doesn't.
that you got to stay real focused in a conversation with him because
Right.
he like I don't and the fact that Aaliyah is apologizing to him on the phone, I think that Uche is a walking red flag. He expects people to give him the grace and like courtesies that he does not give.
Mm-hmm.
And I just hate everything about him. And I think that I wish that someone would have told Aaliyah to stand up because the
And,
fact that she
and,
was like begging this man
and my
basically to
thing
take
about it
her.
is, I can give Aaliyah like a little ounce of like empathy because he didn't say the whole thing, but I don't give her a lot because she was going back and forth so much because at the end of the day, if you was going to accept it, you should have accepted it. If you're not, then you're not. Let it go. But I don't feel like you need to keep bringing it up. But where Uche really lost me was the fact that if you wanted her to accept the situation, then you should have been the whole honest truth about it. Because you said, and I quote, he said, she's an amazing person. And I quote, she's a trustworthy person. Quoted. My thing about it is, if she was not that good of a person, then you should have said that from the get go. Y'all both. I don't know if I don't know if it was some agreement that we gonna end on both terms, but it was just inconvenient for me that you gonna say all of a sudden that she did all this stuff. You should have brought that in the first place, because if you knew that Aaliyah and Lydia were getting close, then you don't know what she was saying to that girl. So it's just like, why did you
He
say
mishandled Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah
he
deserves
did?
to be treated better, and I don't like the way he handled her. And I think that like I made a video talking about how he was even gaslighting Milton, because when he had come back and said like, oh, they're like, she's gone, he's sitting in front of Milton in this whole group, and he was like, you know, it's different to have an ex versus be living with the ex of someone that you may marry. And he says this while Milton is sitting right in front of him, and he doesn't read the room to think about anyone outside of himself. And this is obviously the way it's filmed. But y'all, I don't even think it's the edit with him, because he has cohesive scenes where like they're not chopping it up. And I think it's himself. People are, y'all, it's easy to be a narcissist. Like or a step below, but like he centers himself so easily, and he gives grace when he's talking to men. But when he's in those situations with women consistently on the show, he gives them nothing. And then he apologizes after. And it's like,
yeah, I think he lacks respect for women, but also like
yes,
people saying that oh, he should have told Aaliyah since day one. Like the story is that production told them that they can't tell each other, and then on day 6, 7, they gave Uche and Lydia the green light to like reveal it. So that's why they didn't tell each other. But obviously that was like a ploy on production, like to get drama. But it's Aaliyah is wrong for not telling Uche, because what he said, like she didn't voice any doubt. Like the last conversation they had, I was very confused, because the last conversation they had, it was like, we're gonna get through this, like we can get past this, and then she dipped. Now I will say that I did see Uche's story where he said like he didn't know a lot of what was going on in the house, and he was like, once he saw it play back, he was like, oh, I would have left too. Like if I was Aaliyah, I would have left too. But also, what we don't know is he also said that Aaliyah and him made up at that lunch, and that when he said, I think it's done for us, he said that was a soundbite. He said they held hands and they shared their first kiss, and they decided to date outside of the show after that lunch.
Did pull out the clip from the trailer where they did hold hands, so it did happen.
So he said all of that like ending at the lunch, that was not true. He said they dated after that.
Well, that's really good. And we know that, y'all, we know the show is edited. Also, we know the definition of narcissist. We are not diagnosing him with a narcissistic personality disorder, but on a very like high level, narcissist is just someone who is really self-interested. And Uche is the most self-interested person, and he gaslights people. So when you start mixing those together, I think the way we're using it is not like we're actually diagnosing him, y'all. So like we just gotta like all agree that we're watching a show. And we're commenting on people's edited versions.
Right, 100%.
We're talking about what we see.
Right.
I don't speak on what I don't see.
Right.
I'm speaking for what my two eyes have seen on the screen.
And I like his dog. So I like that he seemed forthcoming in his conversation with Aaliyah at that lunch. From what we saw, and I liked that he was pretty honest. I do have an issue with somebody who has to be kind of pushed into a corner to be forthcoming. I think that's a red flag, in my opinion. And like, I think that the way that like women interact with him, he's never going to be better. Like, you got to kind of accept someone for who they are, and you got to sign up for that.
Yeah, I think that Uche, like, he probably did get a bad edit. I did see him on his story saying like there's a lot of things that they didn't show about him because they didn't want to like paint his character in a positive light. They had him there specifically for drama, which we can all understand. But I think that what we did see of him is like, okay, like you're probably not as awful as they're making you out to be, but like you're not the best. Like you don't respect women. And the way you approach women in conversations is a little demeaning. And like, are we talking about his fight with Lydia yet? Because even in that argument, he was trying to be very ambiguous, as he likes to say. He liked to be he was very ambiguous about what she found and like how she found it. Like he was like, you weren't honest. And he was like, but why wasn't I honest? And she was like, oh, he's like, well, I told you. And she's like, yeah, but you lied about it first. Like, you know what I mean? He just tried to make it seem like he didn't want to say what was really going on but he wanted it to be known that she was like going through his shit.
Yeah.
You know? But you didn't want to say why
I think he did that.
Your shit.
I think he did that so that he could have that be part of the show. I think he was trying to do a little bit of damage control, and he was campaigning to like telling the story to the way he told the story to Aaliyah, the way he was making it a point to rehash this with Lydia. But Lydia's like, are we gonna do you want to have the real conversation? Because I'm sure the truth is somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, but the thing where my problem with Lydia is you're going to say, oh, do you want to have the conversation? Do you really want to put it out on the table? But then you didn't put it out on the table. Like, say it. Lay the cards out. Because then you went behind the scenes to production and said, he cheated on me. You should have said that in his face. So he probably in that moment would have been like, we weren't in a relationship. I did not cheat on you. You know, but she went behind production
probably
and said,
a stalker.
Cheated.
But she's probably, you can be a stalker.
What happened?
And you can be like, I think that Lydia is probably really was stalking.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
So like,
I hope we're not being delusional. And I feel like some people take. One thing I hate about doing the thing, I feel like when you agree with somebody's stance in a certain situation, they think you're like totally team that person. No, I think there were certain situations. Are we talking about the whole Lydia conversation? Are we moving toward that?
Yeah, we can move to Uche and Lydia.
Yeah, that's next on the list. We are on point number 6, y'all. If y'all not on here, like if y'all haven't got to the point, so we're gonna talk about the whole conversation. Who would like to start? Because I
mean, I think you were going into it, so go.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell y'all in my mind, out of the both stories I heard, is what I heard. This is what I think. I don't think they were in a serious relationship. I think they were dating. And I mean casually dating. Like they were still doing this, but I feel in her head that she thought it was serious. But in his mind, he was thinking it was casually dating. So it was okay for him to talk to other women, even though they were not in a full on relationship. I think when she saw the messages, because it was clear that something happened, because I hope y'all noticed when Uche was having a conversation with Aaliyah, he told the story. He said we were together we were seeing each other for 2 weeks. Then she started stalking. But when he had the conversation with Lydia, he was like, she saw something in his phone which caused her to start doing this. I hope y'all notice the difference when he was telling the stories. I think she got to the point where she was singing the stuff. She kind of got stalkerish. Then, I definitely, like, it was evidence, and I feel like she didn't want to admit it. I feel like she kind of jumped up. I feel like she did what everybody do when they get on these reality shows. I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to talk about this no more. Or you ain't let me talk. Because I don't feel like he came at her in a bad way initially. I just feel like it was going left. And I feel like there's his story, there's their story, and then it comes in between the middle. I don't believe they dated. I just feel like they were casually dating. There was something in his phone because he was talking to somebody else. Next thing you know,
but he went back to her 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then y'all notice, and then okay, y'all saying he didn't let her talk. I think he was presenting his evidence. I'm gonna get disagreeing for that, but I think he was bringing his evidence. And then she did say like how I ain't like how Uche said she was going through a hard time, so he started talking to her again, and then she got. He's not
being accountable for the fact that this woman that you want to paint as being fucking crazy, you went back to 3 times.
To her. Like,
at what point is it on you that you are like going back and bringing this person into your life? Like, just catch your L.
Yeah. For me, I didn't think the conversation was necessary. I get it for TV purposes. It's juicy. But like you guys got to remember, he started out the conversation sweet. Like you had a lot of qualities that he was bigging her up. You wear blue after you find out it's my favorite color. You send bottles to my house. Like
that was very.
That was intentional. That's intentional. He's laying the foundation as a lawyer. He's like, I'm making my case that you real hella observant. Like,
and then he's like, yeah, and then you're watching bitches' stories and making people uncomfortable. My whole point is like, why are we even like she's engaged to another man? Why are we even reminiscing about your past? But for TV, we want to see it, right?
do it.
But
And
in real life,
I think he needed to. And I think the whole purpose of the conversation was to bring up what had happened between her and Aaliyah. Like Lydia and Aaliyah. I think that was building up to this purpose. And I think he was kind of building that up to, this is what you
but
did
when
to
you
me.
think
So
about
what were
it,
you doing then?
did they even talk about Aaliyah? Did they?
no,
They didn't.
the point
He
of
was
him
trying to get to
talking
that
about
point.
it was so that he could say you were a stalker, and I have screenshots of women who said you made them feel uncomfortable because you were watching their stories. He wanted to have it on camera and
That
present
she
it to
was
her on
being
camera.
actively crazy. So that when he
Rob, have you ever done some snooping online? Like, what's the difference between being nosy and snooping and stalking? Because I've definitely been deep.
I feel
Can you make
like
it a poll question, Rob? Can you do a poll question and just
what's the
ask those?
question?
Because I feel like, have you ever been a little like, I don't think it's stalking. I think that, like,
have you ever snooped on someone's Instagram?
Yeah, on an ex's Instagram. Well, maybe we got to differentiate between stalking and snooping, but I'm like, a lot of us have snooped.
But here's my problem with Lydia, like her being like, oh, I don't know how the Instagram algorithm works. Girl,
bitch is crazy. Stop lying. Just stop fucking lying. She fucking lied so bad.
You have to own it. You have to own it. And the thing is she was watching people's stories for weeks because when I see a cute bitch watch my story, I'm like, oh my God, whose man am I messing with and what did I fucking do? Because I already know some shit, especially if it's the same girl over and over. But for weeks, it's like, obviously, we know why she's doing that, right? Like, you think there's something going on with this woman. You're watching for clues. You're watching to see what's going on. You use a burner account.
Girl, use a fucking burner account. What is she doing? She's hustling backwards. I'm like, why are you on your real page? Like, what do you...
I think the snooping with the Instagram is very normal. I have snooped. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very much one of those people. Like, I'm one of those people. If I talk to the girl, I'm gonna see who she's connected to.
Normal.
I'm gonna go on her. Like, I'm gonna go on the girl.
But it happens.
I'm gonna go on the Facebook. I'm gonna scroll all the way down because I'm gonna see when the last relationship. Because y'all know people don't delete the pictures on Facebook quick. They'll delete them on Instagram. But I go all the way on Facebook. I'll scroll down. I'll be looking. I don't look at people's stories because they be seeing, but they don't see you with on Facebook. They don't see if you looking.
Have you accidentally liked something?
Yeah, and then you gotta unlike it real quick so it don't hit that feed.
Well, you know that's something that Uche brought up. He was like, and then you would like something, then you would unlike it. Like he was talking about it.
But I think it became a stalking when she took the picture outside the house. Now that's when it got a little crazy. Then she talking about, oh, I was just through your neighborhood, baby. Who are you fooling?
I think she was ignoring
what she
her.
said was we were having and that's the thing is he didn't let her finish that sentence, so we don't really know where she was going with that story. But she was like, "Come on, Uche, like we were having a conversation." Like she was making it like I didn't just roll by your house and send you the picture. Like we were in communication when I did that. That's what I got from it. But it's like I ain't never rode by a motherfucker's house and been like, I see you. That's some creepy shit. But I would have liked to see where that was going. But again, he cut her off before she could really even make her point.
I think they were having a conversation and he tried to play her and she's crazy. So she pulled up to his fucking house. Like, I see that you're fucking home. Like, I know, it's been in my college years when you roll up on somebody, like, you are playing with me.
Stop playing with me.
I'm outside.
Yeah. Stop playing with me. Yeah, for sure. Stop playing with me.
He kind of made it seem like she was gonna. I don't know if anyone. Never mind. I'm not gonna even like date myself and give this movie reference. But I feel like I don't know if y'all have seen the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg, and he like cuts off the girl's dog's like head and then puts it through the door. Like he was trying to make it seem like Lydia was gonna harm him, and I truly don't think that Lydia was going to harm him. And the way that he kind of was insinuating that she's fucking crazy, you make people uncomfortable, and you came to my home and I was scared for my life. That's what he was building a case to make it seem like. And Lydia's like, you cheated on me, lied about it, and when I called you out on it, you made it more about how I found out than the fact that you did it. Like he's kind of like playing with her.
But I also do think that Lydia is crazy. Like I really do. Just from the simple fact. Like she's crazy, and I think that Uche was trying to like paint that picture because even forget about all this shit. Like, girl, you're crazy for befriending Aaliyah. You're crazy for building a bond with this girl, knowing that she's like up in there, like she's forming a connection with your ex. That's crazy. Then you're crazy
Listen,
for
Ricky,
running
though.
off your mouth after this girl done told you she doesn't want to know anything. So I do think, like, and I do think that Lydia downplayed her. He's like, you're going through my stuff. I just opened a drawer. Nah, bitch, you was
But Ricky,
going
a
through
question
that
for
drawer.
you. I have a question for you and Robert. Uche went back to Lydia 3 times. So not to say that he can't be uncomfortable at time number 3, but at what point is it your L to catch that you are actually going back to this woman who has, the reason you left is because she did some behavior that you didn't fucking vibe with. And after 3 times, I'm like, dude, you fucked her 3 months before the show started. Like, sir.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm not gonna say that because y'all.
No, you say it. Go ahead. It's a safe space. It's a very safe space.
I think he was kind of using her in a certain point as much as she was using him. Like I didn't like the whole comment. What kind of bothered me about this? Uche made this comment. He said, "Oh, I know she was going through a hard time, so I just stayed talking to her, and then when she got friends, we left." Something about that was a little off to me.
He's
And
leaving parts of the story out, and I'm really interested.
And as much as we want to portray like Lydia crazy as she is, I feel like Uche definitely played into some of that action
I
because
think Uche didn't want to say like I wanted to fuck. Like, yeah, I like fucking her. That's why I kept going back. Like, and I fucked with that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's what it was. Like, Lydia's not innocent, but Uche's not either. Uche gives a fuck about Lydia. And I think that people are honing in on that, like, Lydia still wants Uche and she's obsessed with him. He's equally still a little bit obsessed with her.
Aaliyah called that out. She was
Why
like,
are you
you were
all
caring
in
about
her
her
shit?
feelings.
Why are you all in her shit? Why are you all up Milton's ass? Why are you trying to tell Milton, oh, she planned for us to be here together? Oh, you don't have to propose if you don't want to.
Do you think he was jealous? Do you think that seeing Milton and living with Milton made him a little jealous and he was trying to hate on them?
I think he was trying to hate on them for sure. I think he cared.
I think he cared. I think he
about
cared.
Milton or about Lydia?
Lydia.
Okay.
Ooh.
I think he cared. I think he cared. I think he didn't want to see them together. I think because he probably doesn't think that Milton's a good fit for her, which she's not. But I also think he was a little like envious. That's like, okay, she's moving forward in the experiment, and my shit kind of got fucked up because of you. So and I'm not moving forward. So like, let me go fuck her shit up.
Yeah, I think he was jealous. And think about it. If a man comes back to you 3 times after leaving, there's something that she has that I think that he's a little stuck on too. So I think that
sure.
living with Milton and seeing Milton and being like the way that he dismissed Milton when Milton came over there to try to assert himself, because it was when Milton was really showing only being 24. He was trying to come in there and be supportive of Lydia, and the way that Uche dismissed him. Oh, I wish he was older because he's taller, and I know that is like so petty, but like you are taller than him, and that matters for men. You should have looked down and smacked him in the head.
I know Milton wasn't gonna bust no great, but he need to at least be like, what? No, I feel like he at least need to be like, what does this have to do with my girl? Like, can you get to the point of like what this has to do?
Lydia told him to wait outside. I was just like heartbroken for him. I was like, oh, poor baby, and he just got up and left, and I'm like, we need to save him.
Him doing like, oh well, you can, but we gotta be somewhere in 10 minutes. That was him trying to bust a grape, Robert.
I kind of liked it.
It really didn't do nothing. Like, and I'm sure Milton is intimidated by Uche and his age and his success or anything. But I'd have been like, Lydia, do you want me here in this conversation? I wish he would have manned up in that moment. Like, what the fuck are y'all even talking about?
I would have she would have been like, and I feel like it's a way that you approach it. I hear y'all I hear y'all getting a little hype, and I just want to get to the point of like what the point of the conversation was, because I feel like it's going left, and I just want to know what's the point? What are we getting to? Like, are you mad that you like Dalia had a conversation? Are you mad about that situation?
He needed you there, Robert.
Huh?
He needed you there to come save him, because did you see after he left, Uche was like, I'll go ahead and wrap it up because I guess you got somewhere to be in 10 minutes. Yeah. Like, he was trying to insult him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like I would be like, get to the point. What you gotta say? Like at that point, that's when you get to me and my fiance. Like this is my fiance, so like let's get to the point of
To
what you
have
gotta
that
say.
energy. That's why Lydia's playing in Milton's face too, because Lydia's sitting there like, I'm gonna be there. And then when she walked out, she's like, where is he? She's using him, and it makes me sad because he doesn't seem like a shitty guy. He seems like a sweet guy who
No,
who
he's
did not need
not a
to be on the
sweet
show.
guy. I think
You don't think Milton's sweet?
No, we all know that Milton had a girlfriend 2 weeks before coming on the show and broke up with her.
I did not know that.
You didn't know that? That's
We talked about that last time. Yes.
Yes, Milton had a girlfriend. That's a whole nother topic. But Milton had a girlfriend. He broke up with her 2 weeks before going on the show and then called her ass 10 days later and said, I'm engaged.
That's what she posted. Like I heard she posted that on TikTok. That's the word on the street.
Oh my gosh, how did I miss that?
Mm-hmm. I'll do a video on it because I didn't.
Please do a story time and then I'll just watch your video because oh my god. So Milton. Okay, then I'm gonna roll it all the way back for feeling bad for him. He's playing games too.
He's playing games. They're all there playing games, but yeah.
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for audience members at this point? Because everybody's really blown up. The session.
Yes, let's go, y'all. This is amazing.
If y'all have an opinion, I'm already getting opinions. If y'all want to say
wait.
something,
Let me just say this. Because somebody just said, yeah, he's the one who had a girlfriend who was pregnant before the show. The video that I posted where that girl said that she was pregnant before the show, that was a catfish, you guys. That was completely false information. That was a fake page, fake pictures, fake videos. She's been saying that about Kwame. She said that Josh slid in her DMs. That is a lie. And it wasn't about Milton. It was about Uche, supposedly, but it was a catfish. That page isn't even a real girl. So if you followed her, unfollow her.
And also, Robert, can you lay the ground rules or like the best practices of joining?
Yes. Okay, so y'all, we are getting on point 7. We're going to do audience thoughts. This means you can request to join if you're able to do it. If you have
1,000 followers at least, it's annoying. I wish they didn't have that rule.
Yes, like you can request to do it. Like if you got over 1,000 followers, request to get on here. We're gonna give your spiel. We do this Apollo style. If you start getting too long-winded with your opinion, you're getting X'd out of here. If you get disrespectful, you're getting X'd out of here. If the audience starts to boo you, you're getting out of here. Like we got the stuff. We got to go on with our business. Now we do this Apollo style. I'm gonna snatch you off the stage. Yes, so I just want to let y'all know this before y'all get on here and embarrass yourself, because if they start Xing you in this crowd, I can't help you. The comments are not on your side. So.
Can you give a TLDR for the people who just joined really quick, just about like a little quick blurb second. On the couples?
So we did a whole itinerary right here, y'all. So these are the topics that we've talked about. We're on point 7. Now, y'all can talk about whatever, like y'all can reflect back on what we said or anything, or make a point or punch a case or like say anything y'all want to say. That's what y'all, this is your time to speak. But like I said, if they start Xing you in the crowd, gotta go. If you get long-winded, gotta go. If you get disrespectful, you gotta go and you're getting blocked. So y'all choose it. So don't get on here. No spoilers as well. So don't get on here with common sense. Act like y'all done been somewhere, and we'll start talking. Okay, now y'all can request now. That's just the rules.
Those are the rules. I just want to know what JC was there.
Okay. Melted to perfection. How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
I am doing.
Hey.
I wanted to touch on Aaliyah and Uche about their conversation.
Let's hear it.
I feel like if Aaliyah wanted to disappear, she should have just disappeared and left it at that. She should have just been ghost and went on with that. Now, if she still wanted him and all of that, she should have left him a note like, hey, I just need to get away from Lydia. It's a lot going on behind the scenes. I still want to be with you, and then kept it at that. But it's the fact that you disappeared, didn't say anything, and then came back like, oh, I still love you. I still want you. And he's like, nah, fam.
Yeah, I agree. I said that in my video. I said, like, the fact that she still wanted a chance was, like, what killed it. Like, well, then, girl, you should have stayed, or you should have communicated with this man. That wasn't the way to handle it if you still wanted him.
Even the audacity that she said that, oh, I was gonna leave, but thought our relationship would keep going, and he was like, "What?
Yeah, I was like,
How?"
Yeah, that's what he
Like, how
said.
does
Like,
that
you're
work?
separating our relationship and the experiment, and our relationship is the
it's the same
experiment.
thing.
Yeah.
And it was a situation where I was like, I wanted her to like make up her mind and kind of stay firm on it. Like I just feel like she blew with the wind. She went one way, then she swayed the other way, and then it was just like. And also at the same time, I just could not respect the fact. I understand you want to be friends with people. I get it. But I could not respect the fact that, because she said, I'm uncomfortable, but she kind of like played it off that she was uncomfortable. She didn't stand firm on it. She too busy trying to make
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
in the past. And she was like, oh, like, I still want to leave some stuff for some expense instead of being upfront. Like she wasn't confessional. I don't want to hear that. And you could have simply said, I don't want to hear that, or left it alone. But I feel like she was just too busy, like, I just want to do that. And I don't know. And I just feel like at a certain age, you got to make up your mind and you got to stand firm on it. And that's kind of where she lost me. That's where she lost me at, personally.
Yeah, I feel like she definitely needed to stand up. Like in one breath, I get that that the situation is confusing, and it's like, but I do feel like she let Lydia impact her judgment a lot. Like she let
She
Lydia
did.
get in her head, which is probably what Lydia was trying to fucking do in the first place. And again, if you still wanted Uche, you needed to block all that noise out, and you needed to focus on him. But apparently
She
they.
didn't act like someone who wanted him that bad. Like
Yeah,
when you think about her
but I
thing, like,
think where we're all forgetting is like, okay, like it what we saw, they cut things off, but they actually didn't. They dated, so
yeah.
it worked
Did
for
he
her.
say how long? Did he
I
say
don't
how
know.
long
Some
they
people in
dated?
the comments are saying that they still are still dating, but I don't know if that. I think on his poll today, he said that they are still in contact, but he said that they dated for a while after filming. So
Nothing for perfection. Any last minute thoughts?
I love what y'all are doing and I love watching, but that's it.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Me.
We really
Bye.
appreciate you having
I
sense.
was
We
like,
love
that
that.
makes me so happy. I was like, what?
I appreciate you having sense.
Okay, let's see if this person will come
I
on.
agree with Diamond Watson. I think Aaliyah was too pretty for that too. And honestly, I kind of want to be like, girl, what's the hair care routine? Her hair looks so good
She looked
when she
very
was
good.
at lunch. So good.
Hi, Julie.
Hey y'all.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What's your thought? What you got to say?
Um, what I think is I think Aaliyah, I mean Uche, Aaliyah was in his type. What do you guys think?
I think she was his type because they dated for a while. I think that is definitely what they were trying to portray, that like, oh, she wasn't his type, but he said on Instagram today that they shared their first kiss, they held hands, and that they actually rekindled at that lunch and dated for a few months. So I don't think he would date her for a few, like at that point he didn't have he wasn't it wasn't aired, so he didn't have to do that, so
Because the way I feel like Uche was talking about her, it's like he didn't feel her like that.
I
Talking about
definitely
her on the
think like,
show or on his Instagram
On his
story?
Instagram, sorry.
I think it's hard to read
What
because
part
it was
about it?
just words. Yeah.
We'll see after. We'll see how that things goes.
We will. All right.
Oh, but I mean, honestly, we need a different host though for the show because we already know that Nick and Vanessa will drop the fucking ball. They're not gonna follow up. Can you imagine Nick and Vanessa trying to investigate this shit?
Yeah.
Vanessa's gonna get so emotional and make it about herself because she already a fucking mess too. Like we need us. We need, if we can only send like one, like we gotta send Rob. But Rob, you may be too messy. We may need Ricky to go because she's a little more diplomatic.
Dami Love.
Hey y'all, I'm back.
I was waiting because I said she got sense, so I'm gonna wait till these other people go who I have.
Listen. No, I'm coming on here especially to defend Aisha and Rob because I don't know what show y'all are watching. Y'all clearly don't know the definition of narcissism, okay? Because Uche is a clear narcissist, okay? The way we are critiquing the way that production edited the show. We can't control how they might have really interact. I don't have no control of that. I'm giving my opinion about what's going on the show. Starting with Miss Dubfire and Taylor, he had his nerves. Okay, that's that.
Another thing I wanted to point out, because y'all really did, I had my whole notes here and y'all touched on everything I wanted to say. But this season was full of freaks. Okay, I feel like that sex scene was not necessary between Izzy and Stacy. Absolutely not. And especially when they were in the pods and talking about sex and doing all that. It was very cringe. I don't need to know about y'all sex life at all. Please keep that there. What else did I want to talk about? Because I wanted to point out some other stuff. Because I feel like we just, it's always about Uche and Aaliyah. But I really just, the minute that Uche would have hung up on me, I would have never met him up at a restaurant. You're not finna disrespect me on air and gaslight me. And then I'm supposed to still meet up with you and begging you. I'm sorry, what you say?
That. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'll be quiet.
Yes, because you're not finna sit here and gaslight. Like, he never gave her a chance. You threw so much at her and never gave her a chance to process anything. First of all, when she came to you and told you about her cheating, yes, cheating is wrong. We get that. But like we said last week, she could have lied to you. But she didn't. So you should take that like, okay, maybe she definitely did learn because at least she's not lying. And then you sat here and you ridiculed her, like you really went in on her. And then you turned around and then was like, but do you still love me? Do you still love me? And she was like, she was forced to say yes. Like, I just felt like she was just forced to say yes. Yeah, he did cheat it too, but that was when he was 18. And I ain't like how he tried to throw that in there like, oh, I was 18. He was like, I was 18 and it was just a kiss. Like, cheating is still cheating. I don't care. You had an emotional tie to want to kiss that person. So just because you ain't go all the way don't make it no different.
Right.
Well, and he was lying to Lydia. So I think that he is someone who lies by omission and lies by technicalities.
Yeah.
So
And I think
he's in partnership with women lying.
Yeah, right. I think for sure, like how you said, I said that he hones in on the gray area. So it's like, oh yeah, you cheated, but it's like, oh well, I didn't never ask you to be my girlfriend, so we technically weren't official yet, so I didn't cheat. You know what I mean? So I do think that he tries to like capitalize on that.
Higher than. So let's call him a liar. So because people like are even in the comments, we can say that like, oh, did he cheat? Did he not cheat? He's a fucking liar. The women he's sleeping with are surprised by the information they find out. So he's not even being honest and forthcoming with. I don't like people that don't give folks an opportunity to opt into the type of situation they want to have, because there are a lot of people who would love to like have the type of relationship Uche wants. Uche, I think, likes power. And I think he likes having that power dynamic with women. And I think he likes women chasing him a bit and to punish them a little bit, like, you did this bad and I'm going to punish you and now you want me more. I don't think he can handle a woman who's okay with him sleeping with whoever and they can do the same. I think he'd lose his fucking mind.
And I agree with you on that power part, because like Rob said, how you go from singing her praises in the pod, you saying, oh, she'll be a great friend to have. If this is supposed to be your future wife and she was sitting here like, oh yeah, she's like my best friend here, I could see her as like the aunt to my kids. If you planning on having kids with this girl, but this girl is a stalker and she's so crazy to you, why would you still encourage that? Like, that's the part that's confusing to me. Like, if she's so crazy, why didn't you bring that up in the pods and just be like, hey, full warning, like, she is a little bit crazy, so don't take everything that she say with a grain of salt. Whatever she say to you, come and talk to me first. I feel like if he would have said that, she would have never left. She would have been like, okay, this girl is a little crazy. Uche did say she's a little off. So if I'm feeling some type of way, let me go back in the pods and talk to him about this and get his opinion on it. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you're making such a good point. I forgot that he did hype her up a bit to Aaliyah, saying she's a really good woman, she's a good friend. And it is kind of like, Uche, pick what she is. Is she a stalker who makes you uncomfortable and disrespects people?
And that's kind of what confused me, because I was just like,
for sure.
At a certain point, it's like, why are you spilling it now? Like, I'm just one of those people. If you did all this stuff to me, I personally would not want you to be a friend with somebody.
I think he did give an excuse for that, and his excuse was like, I didn't want to badmouth my ex, and then you look at me like somebody who talks about people they dated. You know what I mean?
It's all about him.
And I'm gonna tell y'all what it's looking like. In my opinion, it feels like he was gonna say she was good for her just to turn around and say bad things about it, so he could come back, like so she could come back to her, and then it's like, no, that didn't happen. So that Aaliyah thinks that Lydia's a liar.
Right.
So it feel like a setup to me that he was gonna be like, I know she gonna talk about me bad if she feel this certain way about me. Then Aaliyah gonna come back to me, and then I'm gonna clear it up, and then I'm gonna say she lying because she still want me.
I have
Right.
a question though, Dami, while you're here. Do you believe, so when he was talking about what do you think we would have decided to go on the show and pretend we don't know each other, than have our friends pretend they don't know each other? You know, when someone who's committed a crime says it, it's like hiding in plain sight. I was almost like, what if him and Lydia planned to go on like, do you think there's any like percentage chance that they both wanted to go on the show together, not to hook up, but just to be like, let's go on the show at the same time, or let's see if we can both get cast?
I
Or is she
feel it
stalking him?
is. See, because I do have it in my notes. I was like, I feel like production might have planned this.
They did.
But
I
it's
think they
kind
did.
of hard to say because, Ricky, I saw your video. It's kind of hard to say how you were planning because I applied for Love is Blind and I ain't getting no callback or nothing
Which
like that.
season?
Girl,
What
I applied
city?
for any season. I just applied.
Donna, you on that bullshit. They're going to cast you and be like, oh, you don't live here?
You're gonna be like last season when they're like, "Oh, I live in Seattle. This season's
That
Portland."
girl,
But
that
no,
girl, what was the
seriously
girl's name
though,
with
I
blonde hair
did.
who lives in
So
Arizona?
when I did apply,
Yeah.
I was living in Philadelphia and I didn't know if they would ever come out to Philadelphia. So I recently just
I feel
moved
like that's
down
gonna be a city.
to Atlanta. So yeah. But I am saying though, I did apply. So, but like the chances of like you hearing back, especially if they're in your city, Houston will have to be a real small ass city for them
Or
to
you get it
cast the
back.
both of them together.
You're right.
Because
Right.
it's
Yeah.
such an in-depth, like, first of all, you have to go through like this long ass questionnaires and everything like that for you to even get noticed by them. So
Yeah.
unless, like you said, Ricky, she has connections or he has connections to production, I just don't understand how they ended up on the same season, same everything together. Like, what are the chances?
You
Yeah.
making points, Dami Love,
That's
and
what
I want to let you
I
know.
had said that in my video because I'm like, I don't know, but now I don't know if you guys seen that Uche is saying like it's 100% confirmed that Lydia knew he was going to be on the show. But again, it's like unless you're going to show proof of that, I don't want to hear it because I do think it was a production setup. But I also think that Uche's on a like he's on a redemption tour. So and the way he's trying to redeem himself is to paint Lydia like a complete psychopath because he knows that we already all think she's a psychopath. So now it's like she's so
It's feeling
psycho.
fine.
She planned to be on this show with me. Like,
Right. And I feel like he's trying to also manipulate it too to Milton to get Milton to say no on decision day. He's trying to
100%.
plant like all of it because really think about it. Milton is very young and he's very like, what's that word? Like he's
Naive.
easily manipulated
Oh, hopefully.
at a
Impressionable.
young age. I
Yeah.
Remember
feel like
now, Milton had a girlfriend that he dumped, so we gotta like roll back some of our like Milton
that
sympathy.
is true. That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
But
Milton
I
done some fuck shit. Yeah.
he has too. So he's not completely innocent. But I'm saying this like
Yeah.
in like for the show point, I feel like he's trying to like if he can't have happiness, Lydia don't deserve happiness neither.
Oh, he's spiteful. I see. I feel that energy from. I agree. I don't.
So
Yeah, I
that's what
can
I
feel
feel like.
that.
So hence, and then it all ties up to why Lydia is so crazy. First of all, I think she is, peen-matized. I don't want to say the whole thing. She is hypnotized, and I feel like he hypnotized too. And they don't want to let each other go deep down inside, regardless of if they were dating in a relationship, whatever they want to call it. They just completely obsessed with each other and don't want to let each other go. So the blame is on both parts. I'm not fully blaming Lydia and I'm not fully blaming Uche. Both of y'all have a part
Lydia
to play
and
in
Aaliyah
this.
seemed into it though. Like I could have seen Lydia and Aaliyah dating, honestly, because as much as Aaliyah was saying Lydia kind of smothers me, I was like, girl, you were sitting like
Girl, the way
crisscross
they were
applesauce,
cuddle up,
like
the
the way
way they
that
were
I have a
cuddle up in their
screenshot of
room.
y'all like this. I'm gonna just say when someone makes me uncomfortable, I'm not like.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
still not going, after you sat here and told me all this stuff about my man, and then I'm going to turn around and still cuddle up under a blanket with you. Girl, absolutely not.
Like
Dami Love.
Aaliyah. I honestly think that Aaliyah and Lydia should have just went and been friends. Like, I don't think Uche is the man. Like, I know Lydia's crazy. I don't think Uche is the man to like do everything
Fight over
for.
it. Like, get over that. And Dami Love, I want to let you know that I did follow you back because I said I had to follow you back. I was like, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
So,
I
yeah, so
appreciate
I hope
it.
you get cast, Dami. If you get cast, you have to like promise to give us the exclusive.
you want
I
to know.
will. Okay. I'm gonna reapply and tell them I'm in Atlanta now. So let's see. Fingers crossed they come back to Atlanta because I think Atlanta was like the first season. And I hope they don't play with me. Like, if I'm gonna make sure I spice it up a little bit so I'm the main character because y'all not gonna play with me and have me get engaged and then don't show my engagement. Baby. I'm the main character
You
through and
gotta
through.
have a love triangle. You just gotta like cast a wide net and just kind of hustle the producers a bit.
Cry a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just cry everything. Like,
okay.
Honestly, just book a
play
session before you go. When you get cast, we'll just do a quick little pre-production meeting with you so that you are golden.
I got y'all. I will definitely keep y'all posted because listen, I was like, look, I want to go on Love is Blind and see what this is really like because these girls, I don't know. Everybody just too emotional for me. This season had me laughing more than feeling sorry for people. And this definitely going to be the first season. I said in the beginning, like watching episode 5, that Stacy and Izzy probably were going to be the only ones that get married. But then after that whole situation with Stacy family and her getting on him about the paper plates, sweetie, listen, dishes is annoying to do, especially when you live by yourself. So, sweetie, if I'm going to use paper plates, I'm going to use paper plates. Don't judge me. Don't ever do that. I hate when people do that. Like, judging off of the small things. And that little lost and found, I kind of want to play devil's advocate on that real quick because I'm not saying me, but I know people who have like a junk drawer and they have like a whole bunch of stuff in there that they really don't remember like how that got
But
there.
is it a junk drawer of your shit? Like, if it's dude you're fucking, wouldn't you just be like, after 30 days, it gets put in the trash? Like, if it's not
I think we all have a junk drawer, but him specifically being like, I have a lost and found, like, you wanted
he was proud of
to see
it.
that shit. You were proud of it. That was like your prized possession. Like,
I get it from that.
And it's not even good stuff. Like, this is a high-end bitch you have at your house right now, and you're showing her like Forever 21 costume jewelry, and she's like, what kind of bitches you fuck? The type of people that leave their jewelry at someone's house, it's not giving 14K. It's not giving 18K or 22K, like 24K. Like, it's not real jewelry. Like, we are going to leave Fashion Nova, Shein. Like,
he's messing with girls that can afford Rainbow, and this girl over here talking about her AC could break down, and he got to shell out $20,000.
Do you have $20,000?
Sweetie, you should already know if he messing with girls that shop at Rainbow, he can't afford no damn $20,000 AC system.
He can't even afford to pay for dinner. First of all, like you want to split dinner 50-50. So,
girl,
I'm not gonna get dragged today, but my husband and I, we split everything. So whenever it comes to people like that being the storyline for folks on this show, I'm kind of like, unless you make drastically different amount of money, like I get it, but I'm like, ooh, I kind of like splitting things.
Anyway, like when y'all go out to dinner.
I should say that point. I'm gonna come back to that. Dami, I'm gonna get this other person in.
Forget.
Oh yes, thank y'all for having me, and I will catch y'all next week.
See
Bye. Sorry, y'all. We were vibing. We're gonna honor the time limits that we said. We just really like Dami.
Taylor was asking in the comments to be added.
I saw her, but she has to request to get on.
Oh, Taylor requests.
Hello, Autumn. How you doing?
I'm good. This is my first live. I'm excited.
Welcome. We're so honored.
Me and my mom, we rewatched it just to try to see like different sides. So I'm like, I'm ready to talk about it. But yes, hi guys.
Hey.
We listening.
So I gotta say it just because it's the topic of the night, but I'm going to probably ruffle a lot of feathers, and that's okay. I want to start off by saying I'm a Pisces. I feel everything. I try to see all different sides, and I feel like I'm gonna make some people mad, but I'm on Uche's side only because you are on a show for marriage, right? This is not Friends is Blind. I get Aaliyah. I understand her point. I understand, but you don't got to live in that lounge with her no more than a couple of days. you are on this show for your man, honey, not for friends. And I feel like Uche went on his page today and he was like, I'm an Aquarius, blah, blah, blah. And from what I know, they are very blunt. They're very dry. They can come across very unemotional. And I feel like I think I respect Uche for just being direct and honest and even taking accountability and saying, look, on his Instagram, he said, look, this is something I got to work on. You know, the show didn't like project that. But at the same time, I feel like Aaliyah, she was doing too much. She was crying every second. Even a phone call, I'm like, imagine being ghosted on national television.
Okay,
You know,
Adam, I'm gonna ask you a question now. My follow up question is, I know you said that, but do you feel like he was being completely honest with her? Because do you think he should have told her the information about Lydia while he was talking about that's his ex? Do y'all think? Because I don't feel
I
like
don't. I
that's my
think.
biggest problem was I don't feel like
Yeah.
he told the whole story. Because if he would have told the whole, if he would have told the whole story, my opinion might be different. Because at that time, she knew everything. So it's not nothing I'm not accustomed to. Because if she knew all the information and she still acted like that, then that's on her. But I feel like he was leaving out certain details until it became convenient, and he wanted it to come back on her. If you see what I'm saying,
So
like.
I see exactly what you're saying. I just think production. I mean, I know about production from everything. I know it wouldn't have made good TV. I'm gonna just keep it a buck if he would have did that. And
Yeah.
who's to say he didn't do that? You know what I'm saying? Like I see all sides, but I feel like the energy we are giving Uche should be to Lydia in production. I don't think that. I just think he was upfront and honest. I think Aaliyah, especially. I just think you're on a show for marriage and you're crying every second and you're leaving. Like that's not how you handle any situation. You want to be upfront and honest. Like that's just how I see it. And I feel like he's being painted a villain and all these people are throwing out narcissism and gaslight. I just think he was just unemotional. I don't think it was that deep. You know what I'm saying? I just think his tone was just dry.
You
I feel
don't
I
think
like
he was emotional? I think he was one of the most top 5 emotional cast
Yeah,
members.
I'm
I
saying
think that
I think his
people's
tone, I think how he expressed himself was he may have been like but how he like the way he like expressed himself and how he felt, I think it was just dry as fuck. And I feel like a lot of, especially Aaliyah, she seems like she's very empathetic. She wants that type of energy. He just, I don't know, even us, even me, it could come off
He's
that, but I'm
kind of
looking at the facts.
analytical. He seems
Yeah, very
analytical, but I think
analytical.
in terms of being emotional, he seemed, when I think of an emotional person, he seemed like he feels deeply and he's expressive. I think the way he expresses it can kind of lean towards being a little toxic. Because it doesn't necessarily center like considering the other person he's in audience with. But I think he was extremely emotional and expressive. And I think he's analytical. So you could see him thinking his way through things. And I didn't judge that. I live in
and
Seattle. Everybody's autistic here. So like
and my
people
and
that
my
like
biggest
are, it's
and my
common.
biggest things is I don't feel like I want to, and like going back to that point, I said I just don't feel like he. If like if he expressed everything to her, I feel like things would have been different. Um, and I also kind of felt like he kind of forced her to accept certain things, which I did not like. I feel like he kind of didn't give her no time to like really think about certain things because like Adam, if somebody like, I don't think it would be easy for you to forget something so close because if her and Lydia didn't know each other, then I could see where he's coming from. Like, oh, you would let some girl come between us, but I don't think he
But
gave her
some
time.
girl, even the way that he
It's
frames it,
ex.
you
Like
let some
y'all
girl.
had sex 3 months ago. Like I feel like that's a difference, and I
But I
feel like
feel
he
like
was.
he's a man though. Like because I know one of you guys made a comment like, oh, why would you go back to her? Like keep it a buck. That's what men do. Like respectfully, like he just wanted to have sex. He just wanted to fuck. Like I'm just being honest. Like we can be emotionally attached. Men cannot. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like I see it from both
He
sides, but I
seems
feel like
pretty
in
emotionally
a couple of
attached. He came
days
back 3 times.
I feel like when these episodes drop, I feel like I just don't think Uche is a villain, and that's why like I rewatched it because I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at all these tweets. I'm like, okay, mom, do you see what I see?
Okay,
Because
Autumn, question for you. You don't think you don't, so like we can at least agree that the way that he's being shown and on the show is to be a villain. You don't think that he's being even shown as a villain on the show?
Honestly, like I said, the only thing I can give him, and I know, like, I'm not even looking at the comments because I know narcissism and gaslighting is
Don't
being
worry about
thrown.
the comments.
Yeah, like I said,
We'll
this
wrap
is
it up
just
after
my
this question,
opinion.
y'all. We'll wrap
That's
it up
why.
after this
That's
question.
yeah, yeah.
I want
That's
her.
why I
This, let,
rewatched this.
I'm gonna let her answer this last question. I'll go ahead to because I know there was Taylor that
Autumn,
wants to
does your
answer.
mom agree with you, or is your mom at least giving you some smoke in the house? Because we like
She,
want to know.
my
Does Mama
mom,
Autumn agree?
she agrees, and she's more emotional than me. Like that's why I said I rewatched it to see. Damn, did I miss something? Like what is going on? But like I truly
You
feel like
did.
he's dry. He's just dry. And a lot of women, like, I feel like, and I will say this. I just gotta say this.
That's the thing is, I
I
think
gotta
that
say this.
Uche is the villain. I do think that Uche is the villain, but I don't think he's the villain for the reasons that you're stating on him. Because everything that you're stating about Uche is true. Like he did say, like I'm a little too direct. I'm a little too forward. You know what I mean? I need to work on that. Like sometimes I'm brutally honest. I don't think there's anything wrong with him holding Aaliyah accountable for like leaving and not saying anything to him. I don't think he's wrong for saying, "Hey, you let Lydia get in your head." He's valid in all of those things. I think what makes him the villain is him over talking women, him showing a lack of respect for women, and him minimizing his role in these situations. I think that's what makes him the
I
villain.
think Lydia in the production is the villain. I just
Me
like
too.
I see it.
I mean, Lydia is also the villain, very much
Villain,
so.
and it's not like a villain, and like I hope y'all don't like interpret it as like we're picking somebody over anybody. Like personally, everybody's kind of a villain in my mind to a certain degree. I don't, but and just to wrap this thing up, I just personally feel like I can see what you're saying, and like y'all, I know y'all Xing in the comments, which is like I get it, but like sound thoughts. I'm listening to sound thoughts. So, but yeah, thank you, Anna, for coming on here, and we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for. I do just want to say this last thing, just because I.
Go ahead. And we'll
So
wrap
I
it up.
feel like, just real quick, 1, 2. It's hard for women to hold other women accountable. I'm one of that. I'm like the friend that's like, I'm here for you. But I feel like in this case, like we gotta hold Aaliyah accountable. Like we gotta
We
hold
do.
Lydia accountable.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
Uche is not. I don't think he's. I feel like it's all this
Not even
energy needs to
holding
be on him.
Uche accountable. You gotta hold Uche accountable first, then Aaliyah. Like
I
Yeah.
you
know,
got it in reverse.
And
but I
that's what I said. I said that in my video. Like I think that Aaliyah was taking a lot of her frustrations about Lydia out on Uche. Like she was complaining about what Lydia was doing to Uche, and he could not necessarily control that. I said that. I think that like Aaliyah is everybody's like a fucking fan favorite, but like at the end of the day, like she can't like Uche has no control over what the fuck Lydia is doing and how she's making you feel. So don't let that affect your decision on what's going on with us. But again, I don't like how Uche, I don't care how anybody says that he was communicating like a dad. He like talks down on people like he's better than them. And I think that is what the problem is. That's why people think he's the villain. Because he's giving dad vibes. Like, sir, you're not my dad. Talk to me with equal respect. We're on the same level here. Don't talk down to me, sir. That was my issue with Uche.
I'm gonna watch it a third time. But look, I don't think my opinion gonna change. Let me see that. But
But
It's
yeah,
okay.
we
We
but
can
yeah,
have a difference of opinion.
we
That's
appreciate you
fine.
coming. Hopefully we'll see next week. Hopefully you'll be back. We'll probably do a live next week. So please come
I'm
back.
gonna be
We
here
want to see
Friday
if your
night.
thoughts change.
I'm gonna be here on Friday. Whenever y'all do live, I'm gonna follow you. Y'all popped up on my For You page.
Oh,
All
yay.
right, we'll talk to you.
All right, bye bye.
Bye, Autumn.
Okay, let me get Taylor on the call because I know Taylor's been waiting. Hey
Oh my
Taylor,
gosh,
I
hey
know you've been.
guys.
How you doing?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I am literally so excited. I have been like binge watching Love is Blind because I was sick for a week, so I've been like, y'all can probably still hear it in my voice. Oh my gosh. I was watching this live at work earlier too. I was like, let me tune in, see what they have to say. Okay. So I was so irritated because like obviously we can all agree that JP was wrong for what he said to Taylor, but I feel like nobody's talking about the fact that, like, at the reveal, he was talking about how beautiful she was and how excited he was, and he got this bombshell. And, like, he even did a confessional where he was like, I couldn't be happier. And then all of a sudden, even, like, on night one of Mexico, he looked happy, but he was just awkward. Like, I don't know, like, he kind of gives me vibes of, like, one of those men that, like, see a woman enjoying herself and they're, like, turned off instantly. Like, what was that about? Like, I'm still confused. Like,
You
what
you
happened?
touching a point now. Go ahead. We listening. We here with you.
I'm like he
Aisha,
was excited to see her.
we can't
Yeah.
hear you, Aisha.
I'm sorry, he was excited to see her at first.
Yeah,
like during the
that's why I
reveal.
was genuinely confused. Like, I was like, wait, like, was he just not attracted to her and he was like using an excuse? Is he just awkwardly quiet and needed time to get
No. Think
comfortable?
about Shake though, and how Shake was really like
Oh,
grabbing DT's ass the first day,
that's
and he
true.
seemed really into her, but
That's
then was
true.
like, I'm not. So to me, I think JP seemed uncomfortable on camera, but it seemed like they weren't even connecting off camera, and that it was like weird the whole time. So it
Yeah.
is. He did seem like he was into her. She's she's prettier than him. So like
Right.
like to me, like she's not dating him. So he should be in a state of gratitude. So I was kind of like thrown that he was like not into makeup.
Yeah, like the most typical things ever. And I mean, even whenever Milton was like, he kind of insinuated like, "Oh, did y'all get it on?" or like whatever he had said, and JP was just like, "No." I'm like, "Oh
No.
my gosh, like why was he so adamant about no?" Whenever they were sitting like kind of out by the beach at that
Yeah.
little like
Beach dinner
cabana
court, yeah.
area.
And he was
Yeah.
asking, and like Milton was very surprised because I'm assuming, like I was telling my friend, my friend Cindy was telling Cindy's, I think Cindy's in here. She was saying how some people were going and they were like, if I'm going on a Mexico trip, we gonna bust down in the room, like
Yeah, like
production
we're in
paid for it.
Mexico.
Yeah, but
Taylor, I have a question
are
for
you
you.
busting down somebody that's not even talking to you and that's being awkward with you? I'm not. Like, I'm
Okay,
gonna go
I
sleep in another
agree.
room. I'm gonna go in the
But like,
bathroom
wait,
and bust down with
Ricky, I have a
myself.
question. I have a question for you and Taylor. I'm gonna save Rob from this one. I have my perfect Mary fuck kill. Mary fuck kill. JP, Uche, and
Kill
Izzy.
Uche. I'm sorry.
Wait, who's there?
Kill Uche. I didn't even hear all the choices. I didn't hear the
Okay, so
Wait,
you
I
options.
didn't
have
hear all the choices.
JP, Uche, and Izzy. Mary
Oh,
fuck kill.
oh, ooh.
So go Taylor. Go ahead. Let's
Okay,
see.
we are gonna have to marry. I would go ahead and say marry Uche because he has the most coin. Then we're gonna go and kill JP because he has crooked teeth. The USA propaganda was too much. I don't want to get caught up in a Trump rally and have horns honking outside my window one morning. And I
Yeah.
guess we'll have to go in. The other option was Izzy. I don't even know what that one was, but sure, Izzy's a
Yeah,
choice.
Like you're doubling down on what Stacy did.
I agree because Izzy
That's what I
said
wanted
that.
to talk
I
about.
mean, yeah, I agree fully. Like, I'm a marry Uche for the coin. I'm a hop on Izzy's stick, because Stacey was bigging it up, so it must be
Right.
something. And I'm gonna go ahead and have to off JP before he offs me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I might be hanging from a noose.
I wonder
I'm
how
gonna just cheers
like
to that,
JP
y'all.
would not have reacted well if it was like a woman of color that came out of the like I'm sorry, but that would not have been
Honestly,
okay.
production should have kind of orchestrated that because that would have just been interesting.
Right. I'm wondering how is he about to react at this reunion? But
I
no.
honestly, the reunion thoughts are going to be interesting, and I feel like he'll make another excuse, and I feel like it'll be like, well, what y'all didn't see on screen is such and such, but it was just the blatant. And do you got any final thoughts, Taylor?
Rob, I have
Okay.
one for you though, real quick, before we let Taylor do her last one. Your Mary fuck kill is gonna be Stacy, Johnny, and Lydia.
I'm gonna marry Stacy because she do got bread, she got a house. So at least if we don't get along, I got a place to rest my head. I'm gonna have to I am straight. I would have to I would probably is Mary kill Shag? I would probably shag what's her name? Johnny. Actually no, I'll do Lydia and then kill Johnny.
You hate Johnny so much. You literally hate
I
Johnny.
don't hate her. Like I really don't. I really don't hate her.
Oh
You
my
do
gosh, I
Okay, I'm
can't.
sorry, Taylor.
Uh, uh,
Rob was gonna ask you a final question.
No, you were fine. Yeah.
Final question. In your opinion, do you think production has made the show like entertaining just for the purpose of entertaining or has made it worse? Like do
I
you
feel
think
like
do
I
you
feel
think
like
we're
the
losing the purpose of the story of the show? Do you like Love
right.
is Blind
Yeah.
for just for like entertainment purposes?
I honestly do. I think it actually used to produce some loving relationships. Like if you look at Cameron and Lauren, I think from what was that, season 3 or something, or maybe it was
Yeah,
2. I don't
season
remember.
one.
Yeah, maybe it's even season 1. Yeah, like they actually used to produce some good relationships. And I mean, I don't know. I think the show has kind of lost its purpose in a way because like they're just doing this for entertainment at this point. Like genuinely, what are like Vanessa and Nick Lachey literally stand there and instigate and then walk away. And it's like, what did you do to help these couples? Like y'all aren't really solving any problems. And even if you actually did care about love and care about putting effort into a marriage, it's like obviously the show is definitely for entertainment and it is entertaining, but I would love to be able to sit down and root for a couple on the show, and I can't do that because everybody is stupid and everybody sucks. So I mean, like, it's pretty annoying. And like how Uche's been preaching about how like production is kind of ruining his side of things, it's like I don't even know what to believe anymore because production has been so weird this season.
We thank you
Like,
so much,
Uche
Taylor.
gives them something to edit. Uche gives
It
them
does.
material to work
oh my
off
gosh,
of.
wait. I'm so sorry. I actually have a question for y'all.
Go ahead.
I want to know how did you guys feel? Like I know we already touched about the Izzy and Johnny like argument kind of, but after Izzy and Johnny argued, whenever he ran back to Stacy, how did y'all feel about what he said to Stacy? The way he was like quivering with excitement, like I just railed her. Like he was like shaking. He was
I thought
shaking.
that was weird, and Stacy even kind of felt it. She was even like,
Yeah.
"Don't fucking like, don't like bond
She was like,
with
"Are you
me."
okay?"
Yeah. It was weird. It was weird. I was like, it's like I'm like I had no thoughts on it. Like I like was genuinely confused what happened there. Like I need to see more footage because
I did
why
too.
the
I
fuck
actually
is
had
he
to
so
rewind it.
excited?
I had to rewind it while I was watching it. I was like, did I miss something? Like, why is he like red and like shaking with excitement? Like, what? Why is he like?
Hater. It was giving bitchy Drake vibes. It was
Yeah, he's
giving
very
like
sassy and
catty.
weird.
I think that Johnny triggers him, but I also think he'd fuck her. So I think that when men are met with a woman that they would sleep with, but that also like makes
I
them mad.
agree.
And he like lost himself for a second because like Stacy isn't for the bullshit like with that. So I think he had to catch himself. Like this isn't your homie. Like
Yeah, he
you're
gives me bully
Yeah,
vibes.
I think
yeah.
I agree with Aisha. I don't know if Aisha or Rob said this earlier, but I agree that like he thought that like Johnny was gonna be all torn up over him and like all like
Johnny,
ooh
move
when
the
he
fuck
with
on.
me.
Yeah, the
But
same
I
way he
don't
came to
know because in
Lydia.
next week's preview we're gonna see apparently she's gonna tell Izzy that she loves him 4 times. Like we didn't see
Girl,
that scene
stop
yet.
it. I did not
Yeah,
see
I
that
hope not.
We
preview.
didn't
I'm
see
gonna have
that
to
scene
rewatch
yet.
that.
So
Thank you so much for joining us, Taylor.
No problem. Bye, guys.
We will
Bye.
see you.
Okay, unpopular opinion, maybe. I think that Izzy is triggered by Johnny because they're the same person. I think that they're hustlers and they're trying to like navigate and I could see Johnny being a lot like Izzy and him not liking that. They
maybe
seem
Oh, we got
similar.
they're both toxic. Is that what it is?
I think they're both like survivors.
Ebbs. You were on. How can we? What is your thoughts? What do you want to say?
Good evening, for one.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I'm going to be real quick. Okay, so my question is, who would you guys prefer to see actually match up? And one more, if Lydia and Uche didn't know each other, would you guys like to see them together?
Those are good questions.
Those are really good questions.
I don't want to see Uche with anybody because I don't think that he deserves a partner. I don't think Uche deserves nice things. I'm uncomfortable saying that. And the people that I would like to see match together, I don't think any of these people should have matched with anybody. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens with Johnny and Chris because Chris seems not toxic and very stable. And Johnny seemed chaotic as fuck. I described her as an iceberg initially, where whatever she shows you, there's way more there. So I'm interested in seeing how Chris navigates that, and I'm still in shock that Milton's trash. Well, I don't want to say trash, but Milton's like a fuckboy.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
have
me.
one. I'm gonna have one that I think would have been nice together. I think Chris and Taylor would be a good couple.
Oh, somebody said that.
Someone else just said that.
Yeah, I think that would have been a good match, Chris and Taylor. That's a good one.
It's a good match. I think they were kind of on the same level. I feel like Taylor is vulnerable enough to be with them, and he's vulnerable
Chris
enough to
is
be
boring
with
for her. Like he chose
It's-
crazy.
I can't
I'm sorry. Go
oppose
ahead.
you.
Okay, Ricky, what are your options?
I think Chris and me. No, I'm just playing. I think Chris and Taylor is a good one. I think Uche and Lydia. I feel like they're both so chaotic that I think that would have been really great for TV had they not like known each other. Like, I feel like that would have been some good chaos, you know? So for those purposes, I would have liked to see that. Izzy is fucking stupid. I don't know why I hate him so much, but I guess if I had to pick somebody for him to be with, I guess I would have liked to see like how him and Johnny played out. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like Johnny may have been a better fit for him than Stacy. I feel like Izzy and Stacy's dynamic to me is so boring. I don't like to watch it. I'm just like, what is really even happening here? Maybe we would have got a little bit more tea with Johnny. I'm all for the tea. Like, I don't really want to see any like happy, healthy relationships. I'm just saying.
Also,
I would have liked one couple to choose from, like root for, and we didn't even get one this season. So,
and I'm gonna add one more to this. I think Milton and Taylor probably could have got together.
You think?
I think I'm gonna say yes.
I
feel like that. I'm gonna say that. I think they're age appropriate. I think y'all not y'all fighting.
Did you see the folks saying that Milton looks like Lionel Richie?
Yeah, yes. And Lionel Richie and Steve Harvey. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, y'all really eat me up. Okay.
Yeah, Milton needs to be with Elmo. That's who he needs to pair with. Okay.
Well,
thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, that was my only question. Thank you guys. You have a good night.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Good night.
Night.
Okay, who is this next?
He looks like the guy from Waiting to Exhale. I know exactly who you're talking about.
And Fenicio left.
Let's see, because it was a long
Avery.
Avery on?
I'm on.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi.
What is your what are your thoughts tonight?
So my thoughts are, I agree with Johnny's mom. She does not deserve to be loved.
I'm glad I have a supporter because they think I hate that we're.
I say this because when they were having that conversation and they gave the rundown about how Johnny was just like, like, you know, I denied Chris, like I shut him down, like she literally broke this man's heart, and then turned around and was like, oh, we met at the airport, and I was just like, oh, like I want to be with him. It's like, okay, you didn't really go through the experiment, so you've seen him now, like, you know. But my whole thing is the whole like, oh, she's deserving of love. No, she's not. She literally fell in love, like, and I'm not, like, I get it. She left this terrible situation, which I'm, like, she mentioned it being abusive and whatnot. She left a terrible situation, got married, so meaning she had to be with someone for, like, I'm hoping at least a year and a half. And then when old dude died, she was just like, I just lost the only man I love, and then I just took a step back from my marriage. Like, no, she does not deserve love. Like, how do you marry someone and then go, oh, like, you know, I just lost the only person I love while in a marriage?
Somebody asked, do we hold Zach to the same standard that we hold Johnny? I absolutely did, but y'all love him and Bliss so much. So
Zach. I was like, Zach.
I couldn't win. I couldn't win.
I do feel like Johnny is catching a lot of slack for, you know,
hates her. He's
for you turning to Chris. And I don't think she needs that slack, because I feel like that's the point of the experiment. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, she didn't down, whatever. And like I said, like, yeah, like Zach did the same thing, only worse. He proposed to Irina and then, you know, went back for Bliss. So I think that's the point of the experiment. I don't think she should get so much slack for like doubling down on Chris, because obviously it was the right choice and it worked out for her just like it was for Zach. But it was weird for her. Like, why would you marry somebody that you don't love? Like, I think that's the biggest question here, you know?
Well, we know a lot of people get married and don't, not for love. A lot of people globally get married and love is not a factor in it.
Right.
But my next and last topic is JP. I have a lot of thoughts on JP.
Let's hear them.
One, I am also playing into, I would like to know where JP was on January 6th. I really do. Mm-hmm. Two, I believe that whatever it was, JP, it wasn't the whole makeup thing. That was just a shitty excuse. My fault. Just a terrible excuse. Because he saw when she walked out, he automatically, you could tell on his face that, like, it immediately went in his brain. She's too good looking for me. She's out of my league. Let me break her down without being explicit of breaking her down and see how far I can go with this.
Yeah.
Luckily for her, even though she talked about how she has like insecurities about her body, the way she looks, and this, that, and the other, she was secure in herself to go like, wait a minute. Like, you're not talking to me because I wore makeup on the first day and I haven't been wearing makeup since we got here to Mexico.
And his breath is bad. She called him stinky. It's like, you have bad breath and you're a mute. And you're talking about my makeup when I look like a bad bitch.
And you
I have
look
a
like a
question.
Joker.
Avery, I have a question.
Exactly. Like, my whole thing was, like, instead of just saying, like, hey, if he would have been upfront with, hey, I just think you're, like, a little bit out of my league and I'm just a little self-conscious about that, I'm pretty sure she would have been understanding, knowing, like, hey, I also go through the same insecurities, that they could have worked out. But instead, he just wanted to be a little, like, crappy and, like, just wanted to, like, be mean about it. Like, you didn't have to mention anything about, like, oh, I just don't like you wearing makeup. Like, okay.
So, Avery, do you think that he thought she was out of his league, or do you think that he was not attracted to her?
I have another one to ask. Do y'all think he thought she was a Democrat?
Rob.
You may have cracked the case.
Honestly,
think
maybe
said something about who she voted for, and
Rob,
that's what turned him completely off.
I think
say that.
I'm touching
She's
a point,
like,
y'all. I am touching a point because what if that's the reason it turned him off?
It may have been. I think you have cracked the case.
She was not patriotic before as much as he is.
I think
no one's as patriotic as him. It's fucking weird. It's like his whole personality trait is being a firefighter and wearing red, white, and blue. It's kind of corny.
I've never seen someone with so much USA merch. Like, I don't even think he was going to bed in USA shirts. Like, I don't get it. But I truly think that he was actually in love with her, but just not secure in himself. Like, I just think it was just that whole, because, like, let's think about it. When we see, like, he's not a firefighter that we would like on a calendar. Like, we would never buy a calendar just full of JPs. Like,
he's the firefighter that wouldn't save, like, a person of color. He's, like, questionable to me. He's just, like weird.
Like, he's literally not the person that we would ever go, like, oh, I want that firefighter to come save me. Like,
him at all, like, ever. Nothing. Like, when he started worrying about her makeup, I literally was listing out all the things he should worry about before that.
Exactly. Like, and I'm not trying to, like, dog him because, like, we shouldn't really be talking about people's looks, but, like, okay. But
yeah, no, he brought looks into the conversation, so
but, like, yeah, he opened it up. So, like, let's be real.
Yeah.
JP, you're not a catch. Like, she fell in love with your personality because that's the experiment. You fell in love with hers, but all of a sudden...
She didn't fall in love with it. They decided you may be cool to go to Mexico with.
Yeah. It was just one of those things where it's just like, JP, you can be insecure. It's okay. But, like, now you're getting that internalized, like, your little manhood or whatever hurt instead of just admitting it. So, like, Taylor, who, like, worked hard to be secure in herself. She even talked about, like, some days that she just can't. But JP, like, you could have been open and honest and had a conversation about it. That's what a quote unquote marriage
Avery,
is supposed
that's
to be.
every, like, person on this show. You could take that sentence for everybody on the show. You could have just been open and honest about it. JP is fucking around with, like, millennials, and he fucked around and found out with Gen Z chick, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna pack my bag tonight and go down here because you think I'm not about to wear makeup? You've never had a bad bitch. I'm gonna just go because you don't know how to have a nice thing. She's like, I wore makeup one day. He was shook. It was on my shirt. Do you have a washer and dryer? Like,
and I literally I just found it so he was so immature of like, oh, I just can't have a conversation with you. Like literally just talk about something random. Like that's
Anything,
all she
literally
wanted.
anything.
And
That's
We
I
hate
and,
said,
him.
and,
in my
and
video,
that
I
stuff's
was like, she
so.
should have started singing the fucking Pledge of Allegiance or the Star Spangled Banner. He would have fucking, that would have really got him.
Has he posted anything on social media about the show? Like on any like I don't know where he is.
I
So I
haven't
search.
seen anything. Like I think he's untagged himself because I went like down a rabbit hole because I was just like, let me find this guy's Instagram and see like what's going on. And I think he's untagged himself from everything about the show.
Well, I like that when USA Today and Daily Mail, because we know Daily Mail is kind of trash, but they started using his government name. So it's not just JP, y'all, it's Jared Pierce, Jared. And I love that they're just like, we're going to call you out in your full name and we're going to talk shit about you because of the way you showed up. Because you know what they love to do is protect a white woman. And I'm here for Taylor too. But I'm like, JP, you fucked around and you're going to find out because Americans love a blonde white girl who was nice. And she didn't do anything to you? And you were mean to her?
They would have been such a cute pairing too. A teacher and a firefighter. That's literally the American dream right there.
Literally.
Like I don't know why JP just couldn't get it together.
Gosh, y'all, we gotta JP's garbage. We've given him too much airtime.
Yeah. But
we thank you so much, Avery, for coming on here.
Thank you. It was so much fun. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Avery.
Okay.
So Taylor low-key called him ugly though. I was trying to figure that out too. Like I think she did actually.
Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
Susie.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I love your live. I've been watching the whole thing.
Thank you so much.
So I wanted to say that I want to start off by saying I'm not a fan of Aaliyah, Lydia, or Uche. Like I don't really root for any of them. But I do think Uche is the villain this season because the way he like speaks to women. But also I feel like he's that guy that makes all of his exes sound crazy without like owning up to like what he did to make them crazy. And I do think that Lydia is like a little bit, I don't know, a little crazy, but maybe this just makes me sound unhinged. But I feel like a lot of the stuff she did, like I've also done. And maybe I'm just like better at like hiding my Instagram stalking.
Have you driven past somebody's house and said, I see you?
Okay, so I feel like yes, but like in a different way. Like
okay, Susie, tell us how you did it in a different way.
Like if I'm like talking to somebody and we're Snapchatting back and forth and I'm in their neighborhood, like I think I have been like, oh hey, like I'm right near you, haha, so funny. But I feel like it was more like
arguing with the guy that cheated on you or a partner that cheated on you and been like, hey, I'm in your driveway.
Well, no, the way I read it, like from watching the show, I kind of saw it as like they were talking, they were like friendly banter, whatever. And like to me, if I was doing that, I would be like, oh, hey, I'm in your neighborhood, like kind of like looking for an invite over, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, looking for an invite over and like sending a picture of your driveway and saying, I see you.
Like, what was the response when you said that?
I don't, like, it's never been like that negative. I don't know. Like, I know one of my exes, he was always like, how do you always like know this information about me? Because like, I had eyes on him. Like, my friends were watching him. Like, they would go to the same parties. They'd see him talking to girls, and I'd be like, haha, like, I saw you're talking to this girl. He'd be like, how do you know that? I'm like, oh, I just know everything, you know?
How long did it, like, how long did you, because this was your boyfriend doing
Well,
that.
we were
like,
exes.
was that, okay, never mind.
Yeah, so we were exes, but we would, like, still see each other. And I would make a joke about, like, oh, I heard you were talking to this girl. And he'd be like, how do you know that? And maybe, like, am I crazy? Maybe a little bit. But
what was your point in bringing it up, though? Were you bringing it up because you wanted him to know? Because if you're exes, but you're just hanging out, like, were you not on the same page?
No, we were. Like, we knew that we were seeing different people. I think it was more so, like, I find it like funny like jokes, and I feel like maybe Lydia was trying to do that like a funny joke, but that's just how I kind of saw it. But
I definitely think it came off as more like I'm there, but
Yeah.
I don't think she was just randomly in the neighborhood. I think it was more like I'm gonna see your response.
Like, I do think Lydia is a little bit crazier probably than I am. Like, I would have made it more like joking, but I also think that Uche would take a joke and twist it. Like, that's what I am kind of trying to say. Is like,
Yeah.
even if it was a joke, I think that Uche would have made it seem so much crazier than it was.
I
And
But
agree with you.
I
I
agree.
definitely agree with it. Susie, any last minute thoughts?
I just wanted to touch on the little JP thing. I think JP's already in love and taken because he's in love with America, and I think he just doesn't have room for someone else in his life.
It just takes a
Okay.
couple.
Honestly, Susie,
That's
that
fair.
is so funny to me.
That is funny.
Okay.
I said that. I
Join
said
us.
he definitely has a pair of Trump's boxers underneath his pillow, like 100%.
Thank you for
But
joining
the
us,
thing
Susie.
that,
We
like,
appreciate
honestly,
you.
a lot of Trump supporters they're unhinged, they're silly, but they have personality and give you like sound bites. JP is a mute. And for me, I'm like, he doesn't give you anything. His only personality is America, red, white, and blue, but like, he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
How did he
Oh,
get cast?
that's a great question. Coach Brandy Moore, how are you doing?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Sounds
Yes.
beautiful.
What
Oh,
are your
thank you.
thoughts? What's
This
your
is my
hot
first
topic?
time jumping on a live. So
Welcome.
thank you. I actually had a question for you three. This has been a great discussion. I love the show. I love your insights. I'm wondering, do you think the contestants get coaching on how like some sort of advice on how to behave on the show? Because sometimes I wonder with what we see through these reality shows, they the behaviors are very odd. And I just wonder before they get on the show through the auditions if they get any coaching or support. So I just was wondering what you think of that at
Great
all.
question. Great question. I'm going to say I feel like yes, due to the fact that if you look at production through any other other shows, especially reality shows, like a lot of times when I talk about production, I talk about Bravo shows because we're a little bit more. I'm a little bit more enticed with Bravo shows and like kind of how production works behind the scenes. And I think in these cases they do because I think people have to realize all these people are going to date different people, and I think everybody's not a great dater. I think, like, granted, you as much as you cast somebody, I think you might have to encourage somebody to kind of go back in. And I think, for example, like when Uche, like when production was like, Uche, do you want to call her? And like, I think there's kind of some things where they have to pull people aside to be like, do you want to go back in there and see them and like kind of push that kind of narrative and kind of just pull it together. Now, granted, you like, I don't think sometimes they do it for good entertainment, but sometimes they really just do it to push a certain narrative and kind of get closure on camera off a certain situation. That's just my thoughts.
It's how do you define
Yeah.
support?
I agree.
I think if you define support as to benefit them, there's a lawsuit against Love is Blind production, and you can read like entire like documents that say how they're not supporting participants. I think if you mean support, like we know that there have been cast members, for instance, Marshall's cousin was on The Bachelor. So Marshall's cousin who was on The Bachelor gave him advice on how he could navigate being on a show like Love is Blind. So I think that they do it in that way, but I do not think that the show is designed to support the contestants or like the cast members because there's lawsuits against them. And this year, the thing that they did that was different is they're giving them all an X amount of like access to therapy. But it almost doesn't, it's kind of like they need it because if you are getting a whole like bad edit, regardless of like how we feel about Uche, this is going to impact his life. He owns his own like law practice, I believe. So I think that when you start weighing the pros and cons of being on the show and what you have to gain or lose, like is Netflix isn't paying their writers or actors. Do you think Netflix is actually supporting Love is Blind members? No. So I think that when you go on a show like this, you got to think about what your life is and do you have a lot at stake. And when they were casting in DC, fun fact, they had such a hard time finding people who were willing to be on the show because a lot of people have jobs that they can't handle a bad edit because they have like I don't want to say a real job, but they're not Izzy. You know what I mean? They're not looking to come up
No.
or be a homosexual. They
Yeah,
have like
and
things at
but I
stake. So I
think
think it's
that
important.
I also think that attests to the quality of people that we're getting, right? Like people
Yeah.
that stand for something to lose, they're like, I'm not even going to go on this show because I don't know, I can't control the edit, so I'm not about to. That's why we're getting the Izzies and the Bartises and the Miltons, you know what I'm saying? That's why we're getting them. And I think to go to your question, like in coaching, do you mean like coaching like support as in like a psychiatrist and a therapist, or coaching is like to control the narrative of the story?
That's a good question. Thanks for asking. No, I didn't mean to control the narrative. I meant more
Yes.
like behaviors on camera.
Yeah,
Like, hey, if you act like,
production's heavily involved in guiding the storyline. I think they ask them certain questions to provoke them. I think they put them in certain scenarios to get a reaction. I think 100,000%.
Because I'm going to go back to another point. Because you definitely like, production is definitely invoking a thought. Because I don't know personally, but I feel like the question where Johnny was saying her mom doesn't see her with anybody, I feel like there was a question that led to that response to kind of bring it out. And it's just like, why are you single? Like, why has nothing worked for you? Like, what does your family think about, what's coming through? And they kind of just invoke
Our
that.
first on camera.
Our first on
We're
camera.
so
We
excited
appreciate that.
to see your
it's my
face.
first time on live. You guys are so nice. I'm always so
Wait,
nervous
I'm gonna
because
take a screenshot. Super big smile. You look so cute. Okay, y'all ready?
thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
This
it's
is
okay
great.
if
No,
y'all
thank
stay off
you.
camera.
Yeah, no, this is great. And I had one last question
Go
is,
ahead.
do you think that any of the people on the show could rebound from some of the negative press like that they're getting right now? Like Jared, like, is there anything that he could do to fans like us to say, hey, I didn't realize how bad I looked? Because sometimes I feel bad for them a little bit. Like they say things that are unhinged, but I can't imagine seeing my face on TikTok like this, Anyway, that's my last question. I just would love your feedback.
And I absolutely do think so, because honestly, these people are not long time. These are not going to be long time celebrity people. These are people who have a year of fame to me in my mind before they like people really just start thinking. Like, nobody's thinking about certain people from like seasons ago because they're just not shows that are memorable. Like, people are memorable. Like certain situations, like Housewives and stuff like that, it's harder to come back. But when you're in a show where you're only on one season, people forget you. But like next season, we're gonna forget. Like, I barely remember season 4's cast, and that premiered this
Right.
season. Like, that premiered this year as well. And it's just like for example, the whole Irina situation. Like, everybody was down on her. Everybody was talking about her. I totally forgot Irina until like the whole situation came back. And it's just like one of those things when on these shows where they're only one season, where people only had that thing, people will apologize, people will move on, and people will forget. Like, I forget. I mean, it's just one of those
That was
things.
exactly my answer. I was gonna say they can disappear and they could stay tucked under a rock, and then we will all forget. And I think that's the beauty of this show, right? Like, we're all mad and we all hated Jackie, but like by next season, we won't even remember Jackie. We'll
And it's
be
just
like,
like,
oh yeah, it's the ones that try and stay relevant and stay on the like Bartiz, like trying to stay relevant and go on The Perfect Match and doing another show. Like, you're not letting us forget about you. So now
that,
we're just gonna remember how much we hate you. You know?
and it's like that. For
He's
example,
on their jobs.
and
But
it's
think
all.
about Shake.
Yeah.
Shake is a veterinarian. A veterinarian has a different type of job security. So Shake is able to be completely horrible on TV because he has a practice versus someone like who was married to Danielle. I forgot the name of that guy, but he's part of like leading Nick. So Nick has said publicly he has not been able to get a job for over 2 years because when people Google him, they see all of this stuff. So I think there's a privilege to being maybe in a higher end job. You look at DT and Natalie, they're literally in Forbes right now, I believe, or one of the magazines talking about how they have tripled their income. But Natalie was a consultant making $250,000 before the show. So there's a privilege to some of the folks who go on the show where they're educated enough, they're established enough where the show is not going to derail them. But then you have some people who are not. And when you Google someone and you see what comes along with them, depending on their type of career, employers will leave it alone. The market is flooded with talented people.
Yeah.
So
And Nick
I
wasn't
think it
even
can't hurt some folks.
necessarily a villain, which is crazy. But I
It
do
was
think
not
that
in my perspective.
that like people are forgiving, right? So like, do I think like a little fake apology like what Irina and Micah did is gonna like get people to forgive you? No, but I think a genuine, like if on the reunion JP was like, I was so like, I did not know how that came off, like I am so sorry, like I did not mean it that way. And if
Right.
he showed like some real, like how Cole did, like everybody ate Cole's apology up because he was genuine, he was
Eating.
crying, he was like, oh my god, like I didn't know that's how you were taking it. We all forgave him instantly, right? So I do think like if you're genuine and you could like really like see yourself and be like, dang, I didn't know that's how I came off. I think we're forgiving people, you
I
know?
feel like we were very forgiving people,
Yeah.
and I honestly feel like once you're on TV, you kind of have to you have to put in your mindset what kind of person you're gonna be, because you can go on TV and by the time it's played, how you portrayed, and I feel like some people, like for example, Shake was portrayed as a villain. He went to the reunion as a villain. Everything after the show was a villain. He did not change, and I can kind of respect it to a
He
certain
doubled
point.
down on it.
He doubled down, and I can respect the honesty of like staying true to yourself if that's who you are. But I think it's just kind of about how the person you want to be when things kind of turn around.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, that was such a great question. Like
That was
that
a
was
great question. Thank you so much.
I really
Not
appreciate you. Like
afraid I'll be listening.
I'm so glad. Please join us on our next live. We
I
definitely
will.
want to see you again.
I
See ya.
Season
Say,
2
I
or
will
was Shake
never
season
forgive
3?
SK. I will never forgive SK. And by the way, I was
See,
Team Cole.
that was a great question. I'm not gonna hold
That was a
you.
good question.
That was okay.
Where's Sydney? Okay, not
She
Sydney yet. Sorry.
is she still on?
Hi, Lucy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear
Okay, I just want to say, Stacy is very delusional if she believes
her?
Izzy has $20,000 to fix an air conditioner, and that man is broke. That's very delusional. And the daddy is delusional as well for even proposing or even thinking that that man has $20,000 when he just started selling insurance. I'm sorry.
He hasn't even started. He literally was at the job
Mic
for a
drop.
week and left.
That's all I want to say.
Mic drop.
That's all I want to say.
Lucy, we love you. We love you,
Love you
Lucy.
too.
That was funny.
Lucy,
No, but
Lucy's amazing.
because not a pocket fits in or want to throw it out.
Hi.
Hey,
How do you pronounce
I'm
your
so
name?
excited. Oh my God. The tea has been hot. I feel like everyone has been hitting every single point. Every time I want to talk about something, like somebody else is answering it. And I'm like, yes, that's exactly
Say
how
your
I
name.
feel.
Is it Jacquemua? How do you
Yeah,
pronounce
my
your name?
handle's Jacamwa. My name is Jael.
I like that.
Oh, Jael, I love that. That's
That's
so
pretty.
pretty.
Thank you. Yes. So I wanted to, there's too much to talk about, but I wanted to talk about kind of casting again. And there was a huge rumor how Chelsea from last season was heavily involved with this one. And the whole time watching this, I'm thinking, I see no correlation. I feel like there's not even, I know there's no couple we're rooting for, but there's not even one person that is like the fan favorite that we're all rooting for. And as if no one makes sense. I feel like the first 2 seasons you can kind of see people matching together, or you could, root for them. And I don't see that at all this season. And I think Lydia is a case for the FBI to handle, because there is no way she was that close to Aaliyah, the way she was smothering her. And I don't know if you guys remember when she was like, I love you, I love you, I love you. When
Can we just
Aaliyah,
let's hold space. Aaliyah was matching that energy. Aaliyah was
yes,
not a
and
victim in that
I
relationship.
agree. She definitely, she's a sweet girl, but I can definitely see her falling into the yes, like you're my mom, kind of thing, and take care of me. But I do think that there's a lot production handled. There's a lot they had to cover when it comes to the editing. And I feel like the moment she got a whiff that her and Uche were hitting it off, she stuck to her like a flea. She was like, I'm not going to let this girl go. I need to know as much information as possible. How far along are her and Uche, getting? And the fact that she never told her whatsoever about their past, even when she was the first person she went crying to, when Uche just like ripped her to shreds.
But we
Yeah.
have to remember that production said that they could only stay if they did not disclose it. So I don't know if they've confirmed the timeline on when production told Lydia and Uche they could let folks know.
They said
Because neither of them told
production
anyone.
in the interview with People Production said that they gave them the green light on day 7. However, I don't think that negates
That's
from the
pretty
fact
far
that
into it.
rather they gave them the green light on episode 6 or 7. Lydia should not have befriended Aaliyah the way she did because she knew she was connecting with Uche. And even if we all didn't know that they dated, Lydia knew they dated. So it's weird to get close to a girl when you know you dated that man and you're trying to just get all the tea. Come to me. I'll give you advice. You're just like me. You're just like, it's weird. The same thing for Lydia and Drew would be like, oh shit, I'm not allowed to tell this girl that I dated Uche, but let me back away from her. Let me not become her friend. Let me just keep my distance from her.
We know Lydia's not doing the same thing.
That was a great point. I don't really think there is a favorite, like a fan favorite, like surprisingly this year, because last year I think I feel like Marshall became the fan favorite.
Yes. Everyone loved Marshall. They loved his breakfast. Yep. He was definitely fan fave.
Don't do my
but I will say that Chelsea didn't have anything to do with this year's casting because season 4 filmed a while ago before Chelsea was a part of the casting team. So we can't, I know I hate Chelsea personally, so I don't think we can blame her for this, although I would love to, you know what I mean? But this one wasn't her fault.
Yeah. So it's just like, I really don't see anybody. So I would definitely want to talk to, I would love to talk to casting.
Because I still don't understand why Marshall was a fan favorite. I think people hated Jackie. I don't think that people loved like, why did y'all love Marshall?
I think, well, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I think why people love Marshall, like I swear to God, like I said like one little mini negative thing about Marshall and they lit my ass up. So I was like, I don't think I can talk about this man. I can't share my honest thoughts, but now I can. You know what I mean? But I think people love Marshall because he presented like a really good guy. He presented like somebody who was ready for love. He presented like somebody that was like mature. Now, I think that Marshall wanted to be loved. Like, I think even in this new relationship, he's flaunting it and he's, you know what I mean? But I do think Marshall had his own little issues. Like I do. I'll say it 100 times. But I think he presented like what everybody wants.
Himself. And I feel like he presented himself as like in me personal experience, I feel like he presented himself as relatable as a black male who like expresses his feelings.
Yes, in touch with
in touch with his like emotions, and I feel like he expressed that for like, you know, Carsey, because black men don't get a soft edit, like not saying we like soft, but like a soft edit in a way of like
I get what you're saying.
Like we can be vulnerable on camera and stuff like that, and I don't feel like, you know, it's a lot of times where we can show that because we always have to be, you know, strong. We have to be like, you know, to show the leadership, and we have to do that. And I feel like it was very relatable in that sense that, you know, he presented that to the world, and I think also, you know, with the way Jackie was treating him, that also played into it a lot. Like, you know, a lot of it was like people felt bad, and you know, it's just like, oh, he was actually
because he didn't deserve the treatment that Jackie was giving him. He was just trying to be a nice guy. I agree with
what y'all are saying. I don't dislike Marshall. I just felt like everyone rallied around him because everyone hated Jackie. So I feel like more than like Marshall to me felt like okay, but the way that people poured out for him, I think it was because they didn't like Jackie.
Yeah, it was
definitely because of how Jackie was doing him, 100%. Because he didn't do anything to her to deserve how she was treating him.
He didn't deserve that. He did
genuinely trying to be a good guy to her, and you know she wanted so badly to go to the asshole. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it was.
And like last season, we had Brett and Tiff fan favorites, right? But then individually, a lot of people really loved Bliss. We all really loved Marshall. Bliss, because she's, you know, just great and so well-rounded, so sweet. And then Marshall, you know, emotional maturity.
I'm looking at Robert's face. I was like, we all love Bliss like that.
Well, a lot of people really love Bliss.
Yeah, she's a fan favorite for sure.
Yes, but my last thought that I was going to say for this season was any scene with JP was so excruciating to watch, and I still cannot wrap my head around the comment he made. Like, I kept replaying it, how he was saying, well, when I saw you, it was like a mask, and this kind of looks better. But what I found odd is that he was withdrawing, communication with her, like almost like the silent treatment. But he saw her most days without makeup than with makeup. He only saw her once with makeup. And then the rest of the time she was barefaced. He never complimented her. He never told her.
I think he was projecting. I think he projected on her. I think that he has other stuff going on because he seems like he has something deeper happening. I don't think it's about her.
Yeah. And that's what, like, that was my constant argument, because like the last girl said, she thinks that he saw Taylor and instantly thought she's out of my league, so like I have to try and like bring her down. But it's like, in my mind, I'm like, was he ever attracted to her? Because I think it's no. I don't think there was something else he didn't like about her. I don't think he liked her. What do you think?
He does not kiss her like someone who is 33 and has been kissed. Like, he doesn't like interact with her like someone who's interacted with people romantically. He seems like inexperienced, maybe.
Yeah. He was kissing with his teeth, and no, that was so bad. That was so bad to watch. And the worst part, he's saying that he's a firefighter, like everybody roots for firefighters, and that was just so bad, so bad.
On his teeth to him, though. I thought she said it to like in
she
like
didn't. She said it. Yeah, she said it behind the camera.
Yeah, so he reacted to that.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, y'all. We got like
you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all, we have, oh my gosh, we have two more people.
Where's Sydney on the list?
Sydney's on the list. Sydney, I'm gonna bring Sydney last. We have two people that I'm gonna bring Sydney on to kind of wrap up final thoughts. Nurse T, stay on the line because I see you. I'm gonna add you because we talks. Hello.
Oh my gosh, hi guys.
How you doing? I'm so sorry. It was such a long line. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, it's literally okay. I feel like we talked about JP and everything. What I wanted to ask you guys was, and I know from y'all's TikToks that I feel like you guys have already touched on this, but I'm not an Izzy stan by any means, but Izzy never presented himself as like a very deep person, very like he always was unserious, like Stacy was like, oh, we're so goofy, like, and like that was the appeal of, I feel like, their relationship. It's almost like a college relationship, and I feel like after then she was like, wait, like like this is like the real life. But like Izzy was always like, so I'm not an Izzy stan. I think the way he talked to Johnny was like unserious, but like what do y'all think of that? Because I'm not sticking up for him, but
I'm just saying, in this experiment, people really don't want to get. They don't like. Some people's attitude is not to get married, which from their experience is what I saw. Because my thing about it is like, I think people forget like outside of this, life goes on. Like these are things you need to see. Like I would not go in the in my personal opinion, I would not go into the pod without questions that are genuinely important to me. Like for example, the children conversation is important. Financial conversation is important. Like those little things are important. So it's just like if we can't get deep about that in the pods, then I don't feel like I have the chance to argue about it outside of it. Because one of the things I really hate is when they don't have the children conversation and then they get outside the pods, oh, like what stage do you want to have kids? And it's just like I want to have kids right now. Like for a woman, my biological clock ticking right now. Then the male, like I want to be married for like Chelsea and Kwame. She was like, I'm a woman of a particular age. I would like to have kids now. Then he was just like, I want to live and like do a little bit more traveling and stuff like that. And these are like, why are y'all not talking about it? Like
he was deeper with Johnny though. I think that he was always light with Stacy, but him and Johnny talked about deeper stuff. It seemed like
they did.
But that's why I think he chose Stacy. Like I always said from jump, like Izzy was not there to form a genuine connection and get
Yeah.
married. He was there for
Right.
camera time. And I think he saw that Johnny was getting a little too deep and taking it a little too serious. And he said, I'm gonna go this way with Stacy. And he probably like digmatized Stacy a little bit because I don't think Stacy was even, I think she was on the same page. Like, we're about to get out this pod, get this airtime, pretend like we love each other. Then she got that stick and was like, wait, maybe I will marry you. Maybe this could be for real. And started talking about serious shit. Because even when Izzy was like, yeah, like, you know, she's like my best friend. We could get deep. I'm like, when have y'all ever
Do you
gotten
think
deep?
they're gonna
Besides
get
you getting
married?
deep in them guts, when have you ever been deep? No.
I'm weak.
No, I don't think they're getting
Someone
married.
said
I'll say at the
stop
same
cutting off
time.
Rob.
Somebody said that, and I'm like, they're not gonna be. We're just, we're just passionate people. Also, at the same time, another one I think about it is for like the whole AVAC conversation. My thing about it is, why didn't you ask that in the pods? It's just like, are you in like you would ask, are you in a situation?
She's full of shit. Stacey's full of
Like, are
fucking
you
shit,
in a
y'all.
She's
situation
full
to
of
like,
shit. Yeah, she's
are you in a position where that if something financially happened, you could be able to afford this? If the answer is no, then you need to rearrange. But my thing about it is you get into it, you at the point now, he's in your crib now, talking about, oh, this is nice. Oh, and you talking about, oh, you might gotta shell out $20,000. You obviously know he doesn't have $20,000. So for you, like, you saying that just made you look dumb, because it's just like you did not pick somebody, in the same aspect as you.
Opinion, he didn't buy that fucking house. I'm sorry. I lived in this house for 3 days and now I gotta go half on your AC.
right.
The fuck?
Right.
Right.
It's
Right.
not my
Oh,
fucking house.
I have to tell
Right.
y'all. Somebody brought up something good. Somebody brought up the point. I know my friend Cage, I think she's on live. The fact that he just got a passport, and somebody was like, I don't know if y'all feel like his dad was shaming him, because it's really like most people don't have a passport. Like, it's just becoming one of those things where it's becoming more popular. And do y'all think he was shaming him, like, for
No,
not
I
having
think
it?
her dad went out of his way to make Izzy feel comfortable and to
Mm-hmm.
not make him feel like he was lacking. But to be honest, I think socioeconomics in the US, they have been traveling internationally since she was a child. So I think it's fair to say in their circle, people have passports. So I think that he was trying to like vet him, but also be like, my daughter's used to certain shit.
Yeah,
He's been taking his daughter internationally since she was a child. So like,
for sure.
I think that there's a lot of socioeconomics at play, and she's marrying someone potentially from a different class than her.
Mm-hmm. And
But
I do
yeah.
think that her dad was kind about it. Like, I think her dad was like very much like able to recognize, like, you guys are not in the same league at all. But like, if you want to date my daughter, like, you're going to have to like really step your shit up if you want to marry my daughter. But I also think like, I don't think Stacy had intentions to get married, and I don't think Izzy did either. So I think that that's why they're kind of just like,
Do you
oh,
think they're gonna get married?
I don't. I do not.
I don't
Okay.
know. But also like
Hell no.
I feel like last thing, guys, sorry. I also feel like my thing is like, Stacey, if you wanted someone with like a maxed out 401k, like why did you take the risk of going on Love is Blind and then is like seemingly resenting Izzy for
Yep.
it on like we all see it. We all like see where it's leading to. And I'm just like, it's
It
just
is.
not compatible then.
And some people are like, some
Yeah,
people really
not.
like fake it, like money's not important, just love. Then they get in a situation and all of a sudden it's, what are you doing for me? And it's just like, you should have brought that up before. Like, I just really think finance is one of those things where you honestly have to be on the same accord. Like, you honestly,
Mhm.
I just don't like, I'm not saying money rules everything, but hell, it's top gun, and it's just like, you got to know the person that you're with, because my expectations and your expectations could be totally two different things. And it's just like, setting that expectation and setting those standards is something that you just have to do before you get in a relation, like a said relationship.
You know, the link
Mhm.
that someone should send to Stacy is Tyler Perry saying that if Izzy can only pay that light bill, you give that man space and you be grateful. So maybe she heard Tyler Perry saying that like Izzy can only pay the light bill and you appreciate that man paying that. So I just think that someone needs to DM her that link.
You are
I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say maybe she heard him and was inspired.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We hope to see you
Oh my
next time
god.
in our next live.
Thank y'all.
Thank
I'll
you
see you
so
later.
much.
Bye.
Has anyone heard Stacy calls Izzy daddy a lot?
Ew!
And I don't know,
Oh
I
my
don't fucking
god.
like it.
Piss
Have
me
y'all
off.
heard
Hey,
her like
Hi,
hi
Nursey.
Nursey?
Okay, so this is my theory. I think I've cracked the code with the Uche, Lydia, and Aaliyah. Y'all, it was a setup. It was a setup. Y'all can't tell me it wasn't, because think about it. How do two people that know each other get on the same show? Uche told Lydia to get on there because they want to collect that coin. And Lydia is a good actress, so that fake crying, that was fake. I think they picked the weakest girl. I think they picked the weakest black girl they thought was going to be weak, because if you look at it, I think he was going for that girl, Muriel or whatever, that didn't know what the fuck she was doing.
And
And
about everything.
yes, but that I think they didn't go with her, and because I think they felt like she was too smart, because they edited her scene so choppy to where they tried to make it seem like she didn't have a job, but in real life she does. So I think that they went for Aaliyah because her mindset, she's a pretty girl, don't get me wrong, but she's kind of weak in the mind, and that's how I see it. And I think they played on that. They came together, and I think, Lydia found out, Aaliyah had told Lydia, I'm going for Uche, and I think that made her gravitate towards her, and that's why she befriended her. That was the signal from Uche that, this is the girl. So she's gonna befriend her and hype her up and all that, and because it doesn't make sense, because how are y'all like all this is coming together like this? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But overall, I think that, yeah, it was a setup for that. That was a setup.
I love
It's
the theory.
I just I can't wrap my head around, because
it's
y'all,
just too, like, my thing about it is, like, Houston is just not that small. It's not that small. Like, there are so many areas of Houston, and I just know that to find two people that are exes just ain't common. It's it's just not common. What is? Oh, I was gonna say, what does Lydia do? But she do rocks.
yeah, something about rocks or something.
She's a geologist, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
that.
think
Don't
she
she
just
do
wanted.
rocks?
I just
Yes,
think
she
she
do.
wanted somebody to marry her,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
like she just wanted to be a pick girl. And I think that they just came together to collect the check. To be honest, like, cause
I think it was production. I honestly don't think it was a setup. That's my opinion. I think it was production because like I said, I think the casting process is so, I mean, I don't know the casting process, but I know it's not easy. So for both of them to just randomly be cast is like, that's not what happened. Production was like, we need something different.
mm-hmm.
We've never had two people that know each other, that dated each other. Like, cause it's not even like, oh, I know him. I worked with him. It's like, no, you was fucking on him 3 months ago. Like, that is not a coincidence. Like, production was like, we need to spice things up. We getting sued. We need some juice. We need some tea. We need to cast two exes, and Lydia and Uche were it.
But see, that's why I said they
Can we
went
just add
vertical.
something to the comments though? People said Uche is not a common name. Uche is a very common Nigerian name. Like I in Seattle, I know multiple people named Uche.
I don't know,
But
but
also
I'm
like
from a.
the fact, Rob, the fact that you said do rocks, everybody is like, no one can breathe right now.
I
And
mean,
You
that's what
said
she
that
does
that's her
I
though.
job
didn't
is
mean it the way it came out. I did not mean it the way it came out.
don't she do rocks?
She do. Her Milton. That's what they gonna do on their honeymoon, is do the rocks. That's it.
They was
Name
examining
There's
rocks.
no honeymoon.
them sedimentary rocks, and they was looking for it. I just mm.
Yeah, but that's
I
just
just
my tea on that. And JP and Taylor, see, that's my thing. I feel like he didn't like her, and I feel like he's using makeup as an issue because, like you said, I believe the girl is a Democrat. I believe that they got into it about Trump. They got into it about a gun law, or because I think he wanted. And no offense to army people, but I think he wanted an army girl. I think he wanted somebody off wrong turn, because the girl is pretty. Ain't nothing wrong with her to me. And I
Right.
just feel like he wanted somebody else.
He wanted a tomboy.
No,
Or take the
I
top out.
think there may have been something that they discussed
You're
politically or something
Yeah.
like that that he didn't agree with, and I think that's exactly he couldn't say that on camera because his ass would have got lit up. So he was like, "Ooh, makeup, yeah, I'm gonna go with that one."
Yeah, because I think she probably said, well, the people, what they did on the 6th was so just wrong. And that went left.
Even if she was a Republican, she's an empowered woman and she has an opinion, and he may have wanted someone who he could walk over.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I'm dating down. You got me all the way fucked up, and you don't fuck, you don't kiss good, you don't talk, your breath smells, and you have a gap, and I'm not into that. She was like, get the fuck out of my face. You can't have all the exes. Like, no. Stop
But the
playing
girl,
with me.
but the girl was trying. That's what I don't understand. Like,
really
dude, you
trying.
have somebody that's trying with you.
And my thing about it is like, where was the reassurance? Like, I feel like he could have said, the thing like, I want natural beauty in a non-direct way. He could have been like, oh, you're so beautiful, like, just asserting herself, like waking up in the morning, like, oh, you just so beautiful when you wake up, stuff like that. And it's just like, for you just to be like, no, that just no. Like,
No, I don't know if you guys seen Anthony Gillett's fucking video on the show, but he was like,
What did
"JP
he do?
want her to wear makeup because he's one of those. What do you need to wear makeup for? You need to stay in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, he's a professional hillbilly. Like, professional.
What you need that makeup
Nurse B,
for?"
thank you for saying that, because I've been walking around it and trying
No,
not. I've been
tell the
saying he's
truth.
NASCAR. He's giving me like NASCAR MAGA vibes, but you're right. Just
Yeah, my grandma always told me, tell the truth, shame the devil. He's a professional hillbilly, and like I said, he wants somebody from Wrong Turn that's gonna be in there chucking chicken and quacking ducks and doing stuff. And another thing, if they had somebody black on the production, baby, they should have stopped him up with a black girl. That would have did it for Netflix.
That would have been good TV.
See, I want a chaotic episode.
And that would have been it, because a black girl would have read him for filth. Period. Straight out the gate.
I think that if a black girl would have came out at the reveal, I really think JP may have passed out, or he would have ran back and closed the jersey. No way he was going to Mexico.
Yeah, I think the reason why they didn't do it, because I feel like they knew how he was, like patriotic Paul. I think somebody said that, but they knew that he was very patriotic, and they knew that they thought that he probably was going to harm them, like for real. And they didn't want that lawsuit.
Yeah,
they've been calling him everything, Mr. USA, Patriotic Paul. Somebody.
Patriotic Paul is really sending me up a creek.
I like Patriotic Paul, not Captain America, because we like Chris Evans. Like, we gotta like chill, y'all. Chris Evans is the good one. Like,
yeah, but my honorary mention though, Stacy's dad, when he said love's like the fly first class, I'm like, yeah, he was nice about it, because my dad wouldn't have been nice. My dad would have like, my child is a spoiled brat. She likes to get her way, and if you can't afford it, I don't think she's the one for you. My dad would have been straight up.
Yeah.
Someone earlier said that her dad was eating with all the comments he was given. They were like, yeah, he ate with that. When he's like, love likes to fly first class. Love needs a roof. He's like, I love her, but she likes things. But my thing is this, is the stuff that Stacy likes, she makes enough money and she creates a lifestyle that she wants.
True. As an independent woman, I get that, but we also like when other people do. We don't like to spend our own money. No.
Hello.
We like to spend everybody else's money.
Amen.
And I think that her dad definitely knows his daughter. He knows, like, he's been around her for her entire life. He was really trying to be nice to Izzy, let her know, like, I don't think that this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna let you choose. I'm gonna let you and my daughter decide, because I don't want to put my foot in it too much. But I'm letting you know that your love is not gonna pay for my daughter's lifestyle, and she's not changing.
When he was describing his new job to her dad, it was so embarrassing. I felt embarrassed for him, because I was like, when he started saying, yeah, I did this career change for 3 days, then I came here, I was like, don't tell anyone. Yeah. Just don't say that.
It's some stuff you don't tell parents, and I think that was one of them. He should have just sat quiet.
It was like, that conversation was so nice, but it was low key Stacy's dad being like, I don't want to fucking pay for your lifestyle. So like, I don't want to pay. Like when she has a husband, I'm expecting him to take over that role. It doesn't seem like you can do it, and then it's gonna fall back on me.
And he's right, because at the end of the day, you have to solidify the bag. And her dad knows if my child is gonna marry somebody, they have to be able to take her license, because I can't afford her and her mom. I can't do it
It's
anymore.
kind of like Alexa
he
and
wasn't
Brennan.
selling enough.
Like when
He was not selling
when
enough
Brennan was talking to
insurance.
Alexa's dad.
For sure. Yeah,
And
it's definitely was Alexa and Brennan. But did you guys
Yeah.
see?
But Brennan
Did
has a
y'all notice
job.
how his feet was dangling on that chair? Or was it just me?
I didn't.
Whose
I'm
feet were
dead.
dangling?
Izzy's feet were dangling on that chair when she was like, y'all. Oh my god, they was dangling like a fucking 7-year-old.
Ricky, can
Maybe
I
it
just take a
was
second to
tall.
publicly apologize to you? Because when I rewatched Izzy's scenes and then I saw Chris, there was a screenshot I saw of Chris, and I was like, I got caught up in Izzy filling out his pants, and I just was like, I'm a clown. And that's what happens. Women are clowns for Izzy. That's why they have their Fashion Nova jewelry in his drawer. And I was like, Ricky has her eye on the prize and has really good judge of character. And I just want to publicly say I'm sorry for going so hard
you,
for Izzy.
bitch.
I
Because,
went
y'all,
so hard for the
Aisha was
old
letting her
man.
get jumped last week, y'all.
Yeah, y'all was
look-
all in my comments last week, like, oh yeah, well, don't play. Izzy's fine. Chris.
Looks is not
We were all
everything.
just like
They was
doubling down
letting
on Izzy.
they
All
was
of us,
letting
y'all.
Ricky get jumped last week. Ricky, Aisha, did she talk about? Oh, I might change
I
my
got
mind.
caught up.
Oh, and
I like
Ricky,
I like
I
thick
don't know,
men.
Ricky, I don't know if Sydney is on here, but she literally said the same exact thing. She's like, I can see what Ricky was saying. I said, now y'all ain't want to say nothing. No,
We all had to take a week. We all came back a week later, like, Ricky, you were so right. We picked the wrong man.
I be knowing. You got. I have an eye. I have the eye.
Izzy wanted Stacy to know that, oh, I'm that guy. You're not that guy. Like, pipe down. Like, that girl is not impressed by that. That girl wants somebody that got their life together and go fly her first class to Italy. Like, you not finna do this, bro. Like,
Right.
chill.
Yeah, she not worried about that. Like, all Izzy has ever had to offer a girl was dick, and like he just thought that was gonna fly with Stacy, and she's like, no.
It flew for like 5 minutes, but she need her jet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Victoria Monet choreo. Izzy's in there like, he's doing a little something. We can't shit on it all the way. Like, Izzy in there like,
He's gonna say no.
Doing it.
He's gonna say yes. She's gonna say no.
Wait, sidebar question for you,
I
Izzy.
surprisingly think Izzy's going to say no. That's what I think he's going to say no, because Izzy does not want to get married, you guys. He wants airtime. He's trying to make it to the perfect match season 2.
Yeah, he's another bar stool.
He's a bar stool. He's trying to get that airtime. He's gonna say no. He's gonna be like, oh, you don't accept me for who I am. You don't accept me for my paper plates. Like, he's gonna take that route. He's gonna say no.
I don't think Izzy is gonna find a woman who's more successful than her.
No.
I ain't gonna lie. At this point,
but Bartise would have been a good
find
person to
marry. As a man, he ain't gonna find nobody else. So you might as well go live in her house,
in her kitchen, with her dad and her mom and her paper and her new
just like Brennan.
I ain't gonna lie, because when he come home after a long day of not selling any insurance, at least he know his daddy-in-law will pay the light bill to keep the stain running.
Yes.
Yeah.
Robert, I can't breathe.
Yeah, but again, it would have been the same thing for if Barnaby would have said yes, Nancy would have said yes, he would have been set right now.
Yes.
But he wanted
Nancy was that girl.
He wanted
to play like Nancy was ugly, but Nancy was that girl.
He wanted his airtime, just like Izzy. I think Izzy's going to say no. Although I do think that if Izzy did say yes, I think Stacy's going to say no. They're not getting married. Ain't no way. But I personally think Izzy's going to say no.
He hasn't even been to California, right?
Mm-mm.
I've been to California.
That was New York. He ain't been to New York, and she was like appalled.
But he said he wanted to visit California. He's never been
like a snob right now, y'all. But like Izzy's like who you hang out with, and you don't introduce him to anybody. That's like you have fun, and then you like Izzy is not who you bring out the house.
He's just a roster bae. He's not a make it to the family bae.
He's not. He's a cuffing season bae. I'm from Chicago. He is great for the winter, and when spring hits, like you can't take him anywhere. He can't go to a gas.
Uche is a family babe, but that's the one you just tell like, oh mom, hey, this is Uche, but you just
Don't
running his
introduce Uche
bag.
to your mom. Uche is not. Uche is for the streets too. Let me keep it a
My
buck.
mom would tell
Uche
me to get
is
the
a
bag though.
resume. Uche is a resume corporate boyfriend type. Uche is a resume fuckboy, corporate fuckboy who will waste your time too. They're both the same. Izzy and Uche are the same. They just have different living arrangements and bank accounts.
But see, what
Both
I
trash.
would do, I wouldn't put my feelings into Uche. I would just get the bag. See, I'm the type that I just want to be the side piece. Just take me to wherever you're gonna take me with your little Tesla and buy me one too. That's it.
You know what,
Okay,
Nurse Z, I might slide in Uche's DM after this and play the fuck out of his bitch ass. No, I'm just playing.
He'll respond. I
I've
bet
been
he will
watching. It's probably
respond.
Ricky talking about, dang, what I'm.
Nurse Z, who would you choose if you were in the pods? What man are you picking, or what person would you pick?
Mm, oh gosh. Chris. He wouldn't be boring to me. I'm a sucker for love, but I also know how to play the game too. So if I was really there for love, like true love, and want to get married and have kids, Chris. But if I see like what I see now and nobody is potential, I'm going with Uche. Yes, he's a manipulator. Yes, he's a narcissist, but I can be that too, babe. And we can both be
Uche
hurt.
can do it, but Uche is playing a dangerous game. Fucking around with Uche, you're playing a game because I think Uche is like level 10. Like I
But
think he's
see,
at the highest level, and I
but
think you can
see,
fuck around and end up like crazy with him.
but see, I'm a Sagittarius, so
You're crazy.
once
I
I
get
find
it.
out your game, I'm gonna play it with you, and we're gonna play this together until somebody until somebody loses, and you're gonna lose because I'm not gonna stop playing.
Nurse Z, spoken like a true Sag woman. All the Sagittarius women I know, they have the energy, and they are the ones that are equipped for Uche's.
Yeah.
Nursing,
Now, no,
nursing.
okay. So I just thought about it. I would pick Milton. Me and Milton is around the same age. I'm 23. He's 24.
Okay,
I would
hey
pick
Lydia,
him.
we gotta change Nurse Z's name to Lydia because she just went from Uche to Milton real quick.
Okay, but I am a little bit. Okay, so this is the thing. If we're in a committed relationship, I will ride past your house. I would.
A committed relationship and dating for 3 weeks are two different things, baby. Because if
True.
if we're in a committed relationship and you're not answering that phone, oh, I'm popping up.
Yeah.
For sure.
But if we're just casually dating,
Right.
but I'm not delusional like her. If we're just casually dating, and you tell me, hey, this is not what it is, and we're just effing around or whatever. Okay, cool. I'm effing around too. So I see you later. You got that appointment on your calendar? Me too. Okay. But see, if we're in a committed relationship, yes, I'm gonna pop up if you're not answering that phone because you're committed to me and I'm committed to you.
Mm-hmm,
Well, how soon are you popping up? Do they get to let the phone? Like, what if they're busy? Like, can the phone miss? Can like the same day you popping up?
No, like next, like next day.
No, I can't wait till the next day because now I'm curious. So if I call you, I give you a time frame between 2 to 4 hours because what is you doing in 4 hours? What is you doing in 2 hours?
What if they have a job though? Nurse Z, you a nurse? You working like 12-hour shifts?
Yes, I'm supposed to be clocked into work now, but it's okay.
Okay, you can't admit it on camera.
This is an extra shift, babe. They'll be all right. But yeah, like I would tell them, hey, can y'all hold? I'm gonna hold these. I'm gonna have these keys in my pocket. I'll be right back. I have an emergency at home, and I'll be right back. I'm right down the road. I'm going around that house. I have to see what you got going on.
Nursing, what state are you from?
Mississippi.
Okay, I knew it was close to Alabama. I just knew it was close to Alabama.
Yeah.
I was like,
We're in the deep south.
I feel it. I just know.
My family's off in Mississippi, but it's a real small town in the Delta called Belzona.
Girl, I'm from Yazoo, so we're right down the road.
Oh my gosh! Okay, I know. My family talks about it all the time.
And my dad's from Belzoni too.
Are we cousins? We may be. Are we related? Okay, we're gonna have to take this offline because we may be related. Also, we need to like all do a meetup somewhere in the South. I just feel like the energy is there.
Yes, and I know where the good food at. So
I love to eat.
Nursing. We gonna keep it because I said I know Nurse Z is gonna wrap this up very well. That's why I was like I'm gonna save her to the end because I said I ain't gonna put her on right up close. I said I'm gonna wrap her up at the end because she's gonna bring it home for me.
Yes,
But
I'm
yeah,
I'm gonna tell the truth all the time.
and all true, and we appreciate you, Nursing. We're gonna see you next time. Hopefully you ain't working next time, so you win.
Yeah, because I
Enjoy
made a
the day.
mistake and picked up this shift on the day of the live, and I was like, damn, that's crazy.
That's okay. Get your money, girl. We're here for it.
We appreciate you. We're gonna see you next time.
All right, y'all have a great night.
Good
You too.
night.
Is it time for
Okay,
Sydney?
y'all. Sydney, I don't know if Sydney's still in the comments. She might have went to bed. I think she was saying she was going to bed. But y'all, we had discussed it, and our last point is 8, and we're gonna talk. We each got assigned to do a hot topic of what we want to like, of something going on in our thoughts. Also, Aisha, are you going to see Victoria Monet? Did you already go see her?
No, Victoria Monet I see on Saturday. I'm so excited.
I'm so jealous of you.
And I'm gonna actually see Black, but doesn't Black spell their name like 6 Black or something on Thursday?
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I like him. We talked, Shay. We talked about Izzy and Johnny already.
We did. So yeah. So who wants to go first with their hot topic?
I'm telling you, my hot topic, you guys. I have been so pissed for the last 2 days in my fucking emotions about that fake ass catfish Uche bitch. Like, I have been so pissed about it. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, I posted a video yesterday about that girl that came out saying she was like had a smortion by Uche and all of that, and I posted a video on it. She's a catfish. Like, the bitch is not even a real bitch. Like, I've been so mad about it, you guys. I've been so mad about it because I always want to believe the woman. You know what I mean? I never want to accuse a girl of lying. And I think even last season, like, I reported on Hannah when she posted that picture and had the letters, like, before she presented any proof. But it's like we did talk behind the scenes and she presented her proof. But I just been eating myself up about it because I know that my followers, like, rely on me for, like, credibility. And so to find out that she was, like, lying and just complete, like, not even lying, but like, you're a whole fake ass page, like, these pictures aren't real, these videos aren't real, like, I just feel like the bitch got me, and I like low-key want to find her and beat her up because I'm so mad.
And
that was my hot topic. That's it.
And just saying, I ain't gonna lie, it's so hard just as content creators. No, Hannah did not lie. It was proof was there. She
Hannah
didn't lie.
I'm talking about the girl who just recently
we talking
came
about the girl
out
with the roots. And we always say this, like, y'all, as influencers, as people who are quote unquote journalists or in that business of journalism, we get presented with stuff all the time. Like, y'all, people DM us all the time with stuff, and we decipher what we're going to talk about. And all of us are kind of different on how we present the information, and it's very hard, kind of just trying to dissect it. And it's just like I just try to use my opinion for myself, because Ricky is more of an interviewer. She's more of a person, like, just journalism when it comes to that stuff. Ricky is better at telling that type of story. I'm better at kind of just telling my opinion, but Ricky kind of gets the story across, which I appreciate it. Like, we're all kind of just like different, but yeah, it's so hard to kind of differentiate thing. But you live and you learn and you move on.
Yeah, I agree. And then, like, somebody tried to come for me in my comments. It was like, dang, girl, this is the 3rd time I've seen a video of you where you've been wrong. And I was like, okay, bitch, now you lying, okay? Now you doing too much, because this is the first time I posted some shit that wasn't true. So don't fucking do that.
That part. Ricky, okay. I'm happy that you're at least acknowledging it, though, because I think that, like, the thing that we don't see happen on social media is someone being like, oh, yeah, I changed my mind, or I got this wrong. And I think it is important to be able to say that. So I'm like, that's what I think is the important thing.
And y'all, we are really, like, when I tell you, like, when, like, I met Ricky, we were still kind of amateurs at this stuff. So we really are living and learning. Like, we really are like gain experience with each other. And, like, we all and, like, y'all, I want y'all to know, like, other than this live stuff, we talk on the side. Like, we literally are sending everybody information. So it's just like, we try our best to, to be as accurate as possible. But, some stuff slips through, and, we live, you learn, you keep moving up.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. This has been bothering me, so go on to your hot topics.
Aisha, what's yours? Go ahead.
I went to see Beyonce in New Orleans, and I just, like, I'm the #1 hater of Live Nation.
Somebody tell me what time is it?
It's 9:17 on the West Coast, so it's 10:17 where you are.
No, you gotta add 3 hours.
That is 3 hours. It's midnight. It's like 12:17.
12:17? Because the something is supposed to drop at
Beyonce's announcing the thing, y'all. y'all, do we need to go and get, oh, Beyonce, we have time. Okay, I'm like, do we
Yeah,
need to
time.
go get our AMC tickets yet?
That's what I'm doing.
She's doing
We
AMC.
both
Okay,
be
Rob, thank you
dropping
for the
the.
check-in. Speaking of the queen herself, I just
I
want
bought
to
them
like
third.
say I have all the smoke for the people who were doing the check-in for Club Renaissance in New Orleans. We waited in line for 2.5 hours. We missed the intro, and
Of the
it was
show.
so the intro of the show. It was my third show, so like let's be honest, I
I
was
mean,
okay. But it was just like so fucking disorganized, and like I just am the
how
number
how
one hater.
how early did you get there?
Stop it, Rob. People have been trying to play with me. Like, did you get there at
Okay.
4:30? I was like, y'all, I was in 6 hours of meeting for my job that paid for Beyonce, but we got there at 7, which they said come before 8:30. The thing is it was just unorganized. We were in one line for over an hour, and when we got to the front, they were like, oh, if you have reseller tickets for Ticketmaster, you have to get in that line, and we waited over another hour. And people were trying to fight them. People were anyway. I just
I can
have
see
all
what
the
you're saying
smoke.
and she was like, and that is pretty late because that 7:30 is the time you should have been there because she didn't get on stage till like 6:45,
Beyonce started
9:45,
her concert at 9:38. We to get there at 7:30, and she didn't start
and
till
you feel
9:38. We were in line for that long, and we were VIP. Everyone in the line was like, not to be treated special, but we were like, this is how y'all are playing with Club Renaissance tickets. So anyway, it was.
Doesn't she usually go on stage at 9? So I'm surprised by like 9:30 she wasn't on stage.
9:38. She
she
started.
didn't get on stage in my show until 9:11.
See,
I
on
was okay
my
with
show,
it.
like in Vegas and LA, she went on stage right at 9. So I'm like, when you said 9:30, I was like, oh my God, she missed so much of the show.
She went past midnight. It was just like it was just like a
But
lot. But
also,
I
you got
had
the big
a
three.
phenomenal time. Like she gave this big three. Also, the New Orleans crowd, y'all, we had one of the best mutes, but people did not have the appropriate energy for the big three. We were just like they didn't know what to do. A few of the people that were in the Club Renaissance were a little too cool and didn't want to dance, and I'm like, why the fuck are y'all paying this much money for tickets and not
Enjoying
living it
yourself.
out?
Yeah.
But anyway,
So,
I have
ain't gonna lie,
good.
for the big three, like for her to get up there with the lights and the sparklers, I would have been hyped. I didn't get to see that, y'all. I was not blessed.
Y'all, I wish we could have done this, but maybe we will all go see the movie together. Are we gonna go to LA to see the movie together, maybe? Or are we
I need
gonna
to
go
see
to
the
the South?
video. I need to know, is it a documentary? What's going on?
Robert, we don't care what's going on. It's like, are we gonna be there together?
That's true.
Also, y'all, we are literally like planning on seeing each other in like 2 weekends. This on the books.
Excited. Wait, do they know that we have not hung out in real life yet, y'all? We are like
I don't
truly
know.
internet friends.
Yeah,
Y'all,
but it doesn't
never.
feel like that, you know? Like I feel like they're like not my internet friends. Like we're all like really homies.
Yeah, like y'all, we've only really met on social media, so like, yeah, we're planning on seeing pretty each other in 2 weeks. That's the plan right now. We gonna pray. I'm super excited. Hopefully, it's a great week of news. And my hot topic is I don't know if y'all seen The Bachelor, but The Golden Bachelor. If y'all have not seen it, I would encourage y'all to watch it. It's really good. It's really light. I actually do like it. Um, the women are all 60 and above. You can watch the playback on. You can watch the playback on Hulu right now. It was super nice. The guy's 74, and it was just like it's very age appropriate. Like I don't feel like they did too much. Like because they could have got somebody like somebody in their like 40s and like try to fix it like that. But it was a really good show, and I think we should get a Golden Love is Blonde spinoff with people 60 and above.
That's so good, Rob. You are thinking like a fucking. You're thinking more like a producer than the producers.
Like I think 60 and above Love is Blonde would
60
be
and above as in age?
yes.
Oh. Okay. Maybe like maybe.
Rob,
I'm sorry. I don't want to see a bunch of old
You
motherfuckers
can't
get
make
married.
old people
I'm
sit that
sorry.
long. I'm so
Lila
sorry.
said, Rob, you can't make old people sit that long.
Yeah, like I don't know about 60. Like maybe 40. 40 and
No,
above.
like 60 is a good age because I feel like there's a bunch of women and the women are really like pretty like the ones that are on the show, and I think older people are more in the mindset of like they want somebody, they just want companionship towards like I'm not saying the end of their life, but they're kind of more towards the end of their life.
Their life.
Like 60 and above, you closer to death than you are to birth. So like
Not necessarily.
Wait, Rob, can I tell you. So I went to see Michelle Buteau. She was just here in Seattle on Friday. She's so funny. And I just was like, it reignited my like desire to want to have all of us apply for the circle, because I think we could really pull an Uche and Lydia and just be on the fucking show together in in an alliance. And I really think we can make it to the end.
Well, yeah, I think we are missing out on having like older people on these shows because I think
Yeah.
they have something to bring, and like we want people to be late too, but also at the same time, I think it's a good representation of like it's never too late to do something. Like I
That's
mean,
true. I love
they
that.
didn't
Yeah.
they didn't have any they didn't have these opportunities when they were young. Like I mean, you had GSN and stuff. You can do game shows, but like dating shows and like things like that, they only had the Newlywed Game, and it's just like these shows are like actually people want to be in love. Like I don't know. I would say my dad could be on it, but like he's how old is my dad? He's mid-50s.
Wait, Rob,
Um,
have you made any videos about the Golden Bachelor yet?
I made one video just to kind of get my overall thoughts because it was just an introduction episode. So we were just kind of getting to know the ladies. We were just kind of seeing who we liked and who we don't. I do have my top four who I really am rooting for.
Is it one of the black women? I got served a video with the black woman who was doing the introduction, and she was making him slow down and breathe and say something.
Sandra didn't care for her. Did not
Okay.
care for her. I don't. Not saying he wouldn't be with a black woman, but I just don't see him with a black woman. No offense. But it's another woman, Leslie. I don't know if y'all watched the show, but Leslie, she's really pretty. Like for somebody in her 60s. Then who else? Edith, if y'all watching. Then there's Teresa, and then there's one more lady.
I'm gonna watch. You said it's on Hulu?
It's on Hulu. Like the first episode, and like the reason I really don't watch The Bachelor because it's long, but the episode was only an hour, so I had an hour in me to watch it. Plus, I watched it live. But it was really good. I think it was good. I think it really connected. I would love to see the Golden Love is Blind. I think it could be I really could see. Also, I hope the producers are watching this. I think a queer version of Love is Blind would still eat too. I think Love is Blind is getting to the point to where they kind of have to switch it up to keep people entertained because I feel like it's losing a lot of people because a lot of people watch this show for love. Some people watching the show for love in the beginning, but now it's for drama, and I feel like they're kind of starting to lose their audience of like people who started. Granted, I'm gonna still watch because y'all depend on me to watch.
I think they need to have a healthy balance of love and drama. And I feel like this season it was all drama. There was no love. Like we didn't even have one couple to root for. And I think that's the problem. Like last season, like we got some drama with Marshall and Jackie, but we also got Brett and Tiffany. So it was a healthy balance. And I think that's exactly why they fucking cast Lydia and Uche together, was because it was different. It was something that we haven't seen yet. And it was pure chaos. Which I
think
somebody
said, how would they do the queer living quarters? I think they could.
Bi. Don't bring on just men or just women. You need everyone bi because that's the thing that's different. When everyone is open to like dating different people, I think it changes like how you live together. I think it needs to be bi if they're gonna do queer.
I don't. I think they should do like a queer like the ultimatum, but do like team like group A and group B. I would do like
what group B?
Like it's just two groups, just to differentiate people. And my thing about it is, I think it would be even still cool. Like it's even, and that is even messy because even in the pods together, they could actually fall in love as well.
I think they should do group A and group B and have it mixed living arrangements, but everyone is bisexual. If they're not gonna do everyone bi, don't do it because they have not told that story. I think that like. A lot of people are bisexual, and I think that it's like they show it from the perspective.
But how would they do living quarters though?
I think that like group A, I like your idea of group A and group B, where you just take people and put them together, and they just have them separated. Like it doesn't have to be men versus women, but I like the idea of group A versus group B living arrangements. But everyone is kind of open to everyone. It's something they haven't done, and I think that it's interesting, and I think it's also trending, like in terms of how people are really showing up.
Somebody said, what about trans men and trans women?
Trans men and trans women, if they're bisexual, I think they should be on the show. Otherwise, I think they should be cast anyway. Like, if you're a trans man or a trans woman, in reality, they should be open to casting you as is because you're included now.
And my thing about it is, and I think people like it has to be in that group as much as people don't want to see it, but it has to be in that group because we saw the reaction about the whole Carlton situation, even though he did it wrong. Like he was, he
Carlton.
Carlton and Diamond.
But Carlton was like, I think, like not as comfortable or comfortable sharing. He kind of was like hiding a bit.
Uh, I'm gonna be like he went about it the wrong way for like him to not tell her in the pods. Then he got there, and then she was like, "I need some time to think about it," and then he dogged her and her wig. Mm. It was very chaotic.
Their breakup scene is one of my favorite breakup scenes on Netflix.
It's really chaotic.
When they argued at the pool, I was like,
Her, her
No,
her
Carlton should have told her in the podcast.
her
For sure.
like her quoting Beyonce lyrics. Then he said, "Then you need to push. Wait, that wig is back." I said,
can I
"Oof."
just say Diamond is one of my favorite Netflix personalities that I don't think they do enough with. I don't think Netflix knows what to do with black women. To be honest, I think they kind of like, if you're not, anyway, I just think that Diamond is special. Her personality is top tier, and I think they fumbled with knowing what to do with her. They kind of tried, but even bringing her on, what was the show they brought her on?
Perfect match.
Perfect
Like
Match.
there
Perfect
was
Match.
nobody there for her to date.
No,
Also, I don't know if it was there that played into her age and like mature woman and stuff. I just don't think she was on the same BS like everybody else was on the same BS. Also, there was just nobody for her to date, and then they threw her in with the only black man, and it's
but
just
they
like
talk about all the black women on these shows, and I just think that Diamond is someone who I think, like, thinking like a producer, Diamond is great TV. You just need to cast her in the right way, and I really like her, so I hope they bring her back because they force fed us some of these folks.
Yeah.
also y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like we need a Love Is Blind international. Not saying not like a place because we do have places like they have Love Is Blind Brazil, they have Love Is Blind Japan, they're doing Love Is Blind UK.
Don't they
I
have
think it would be I think it would be good to have like a mix of people from everywhere
Love Is
international.
Blind All Stars?
Like no, like
I would
international.
also
Like
love his mind,
you
but
have
then you
people in
know what the
Africa.
person
You
looks
have
like.
people from Africa. Then you got people from USA. Like then you got people from Toronto, like
So
Toronto,
you want 90 Day Fiance?
in a pods. Pretty much. Like I would love to get one central location and
Then
then
that
like kind
makes
of
the living situation if they get married tricky.
Yeah.
they got 9 days. They can get together.
Yeah.
They can get to an island. They could do it. We working. Somebody said, "Let me
Rob,
cook."
did
I'm
you see
gonna
the
come
show
back
on
too.
Bravo where they would where the people would show up, they would get handed by a matchmaker, they would
Yes,
get
I
handed
saw
a
that, and then they
ticket,
would go
and they would
and
just
like
go fly there.
yes, like I think I like the little aspect of mix and match. I want that somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't think it works
Oh,
for any of the
and
people on the Bravo show.
and even if they don't, I feel like they can at least get the people on the island and kind of mix and match like that and kind of date amongst the island. We can do a few weeks. I feel like they can get the visas enough to do that, and then you can decide if you're going to apply for the K1 visa or not. I, I see it working in my mind.
I see it working.
So, question for both of y'all: do you think any couples get married? Like of the ones we've been following, do you think anyone's gonna last after the show?
Do I think anyone's gonna last, or do I think anyone's gonna get married?
Both questions.
I do think that Milton and Lydia are gonna get married. Do I think that they're gonna last? No.
I think so too because she
I think
desperate for love.
she's desperate. She ain't saying no, and I think that Milton is young enough for her to manipulate into marrying her.
And he don't, and he's not as vocal like as she is. Like
But
she's
the
super.
board said looked like his family were calling her out, saying this is fake. Why are you interested in him? He's too young. Like, do you think that that's not going to impact him?
No. I mean, I think it will fake impact him for the purpose of the show, but I think that Lydia is able to put that Puerto Rican poo on him, and she's gonna hook that little young fish. She knows what she's doing.
When every time she kisses him, they interviewed him and he was like, I don't even care. I was like, he is gone. I remember taking a screenshot and saying he stands no fucking chance against Lydia. No chance.
She got her one.
Lydia got him. Lydia.
She might, and she may be able to hook him. I don't know if she's going to be able to keep him. I do think she'll be able to manipulate him enough to stay with her. Now, it will be like as Milton grows and matures, and like, or how crazy she really is, if he decides to leave or not. But she's going to get that yes at that altar for sure.
She is. And y'all, any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Do we have any final people in the audience that wanted to share thoughts, or is that our close?
Don't want to say anything in the comments? Yeah.
In the comments, or like y'all have anything? Y'all wish me luck. I think I have 2 in-person like interviews this week. One of them was so last minute, y'all.
We're sending you all the vibes.
One of them was so like last minute. Like it happened Thursday. They interviewed me they were like last minute. They was like, "Can you interview tomorrow?" And I had an interview for another job on the same place. So I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll interview." Got there, loved the interview. Like it was so good. Somebody said, "What's your profession?" I work in a funeral home now, but like I'm trying to get into this like student success so I can get my MBA. Fun fact. So like
somebody said, "Do you think love is blind?" That's another question. But finish your thought, Robert. I'm sorry for interrupting.
And it's just like one of those things where I like the job, like the people, and like within like 2 hours, she emailed me back and was just like, "We want to send you for an invite, like a in-person invite." And she was telling me they need it on board. They have an onboarding date before October 22nd. So like, I pray that Wednesday when I go, they'll like me enough to give me an offer by the end of the week so I can start onboarding by the 16th. I'm manifesting that.
Yeah.
Yes. Your funeral home for somebody in their family.
So I ain't gonna lie, somebody said y'all should watch the reunion live last year. I ain't gonna lie, I was the only person that the camera was working for when they was doing the live one.
Rob is the only reason anybody watched it, y'all. Like he was streaming it for so many people.
I was streaming it, and my thing was the only thing that loaded. Like I think that's how a lot of people started following me, is because my screen was the only one that was really working. So I'm sitting there entertaining the folks talking. Then it started playing. I said, okay, I turned it around.
We're trying to keep it live though, because Ricky's out there already. Like I'm on the West Coast, Rob's in the Midwest. I feel like we need to manifest having them like invite us out there in person, because they had different influencers in the audience. Now, of course, we have opinions.
We do, and it's just like, and I'm not mad at the live audience. I'm not mad at the live audience. I just wish I don't like a live reunion. I think a lot that, but I would love that. I think speaking as creators, I think it's nice to be appreciated because we are the marketing team damn near. Like I know people who don't even watch episodes no more. They'll watch our videos just to recap because they're just like, I don't want to watch that, and it's just like we keep the news going.
And to be honest, like I've just been like having a lot at work, and so like really Ricky and Rob are the ones carrying this right now. Like I have some opinions, but like I'll talk to them about my opinions versus filming as much. And they like actually are filming and sharing, and it's great quality content. And I feel like everyone resonates with them because they both have different opinions, but they're so authentic.
And I think that's what works with us because we all are so different, but like so similar. Like it just meshes so well together. Like it's just like a big mosaic like pot, and like we're just a melting pot of stuff. And it's just like at the end of the day, like our thoughts are good, and it's just like I know if I hear something different from them, they're gonna have a valid point and a valid explanation and a valid opinion. So it's like I really respect that, and it's hard. It's hard to find creators with the same kind of perspective because everybody's not the same.
And like had me at the edge of my seat during the SK drama. Ricky, like the story time content.
It was so like, and like Ricky was getting that stuff, and like that stuff was really happening so fast. And it was
to Ricky, like people go to Robert too, but like people go to Ricky to tell their business.
Yeah, that one was so crazy about the whole SK drama is like both of the girls slid in my DM. Like I did not go to them. Like Hannah came to me and Emma came to me, and they decided to share their story, their receipts. I was like, well, I'll take it, like, but of course you respect, like, oh, don't share this, don't say this, so like it was cool. That's why I was so upset about that lying ass bitch,
it's nice to be appreciated in that way that like some people respect you enough for you to put their stories out there.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of those
Yeah.
things where like you kind of look back and think, okay, like I have a craft and like people respect me for what I do, and it's just like it's not easy, like especially getting in these like predicaments to where like you want to tell your story, but like I tell people. Tell your story, be honest about it, and get whatever point you want to get across. And I mean, I'll help you the best way I can.
Yeah.
And I always say that, like, I don't do anything for gain because like TikTok is a hobby for me. Like I don't do this, I don't get paid from TikTok. I literally do this as a hobby. Like I get up in the middle of the night to do videos because y'all actually saying something. Y'all want to hear me say something. So I get up and do the videos just because that, not because I'm getting paid, just because I actually like doing it. I like engaging
Well,
in y'all.
Rob, you're
So
also really funny, and I think you say the thing that everybody's thinking, and you don't like try to be nice about it. Like you're not mean spirited, but like you say the
I'm
thing that
really
everyone's
honest.
thinking.
Because it's like I tell people this, I'm not in this game to be liked by any of these people. Like there are some people, creators on this platform who
They want to
will
be friends with them, and they don't want to talk about them honestly.
they'll go around the points. Like they'll go
Yeah.
around the points. And it's just like I truly don't care if anybody on this season likes me or not. Like I'm going to tell the opinion from what I see. Like I'm not gonna like try to do that. And then
Yeah.
some
What
people
you
do it to
think?
like
Yeah.
and then some people like will go with the charade just to get people on like podcasts and do stuff and like trying to justify that. I don't need it. Like I really like I bring myself and that's who I am.
Right.
And I don't change it. And
Right.
like the people we are on this like platform are the people we are outside of it. So it's easy.
Someone
It's
asked a
easy.
question, and they asked us, "Who is everyone's favorite person this season?"
Chris.
I'm gonna go with Taylor. I feel like she had a redemption story to her. Um,
I feel like
I like
Renee would have been my favorite person, but they didn't give her any airtime. But there's something about Renee's energy that the very first episode, I was like, why are they not following her? So
Yeah.
I would say Renee.
Okay.
Taylor
And
is
then
someone
I
like
mean the one person has asked like several times, like if and which could be our closing question, which we can answer at the end, is if we think love is blind.
Boy, you so messy talking about Brian, but I thought you like Johnny. Y'all so messy.
You know, Rob
um,
hates Johnny.
I don't hate her. I just
You hate her. Just admit it.
I think
Stop hating, but like,
Taylor is somebody that at the
Rob,
reunion
would you sleep with Johnny? I feel like guys who hate women would also sleep with him.
I feel like she would cry. I don't think I I feel like that would just turn me
Wait,
off.
when she started crying, would you hand her a tissue or would you exit?
The night's over. Get the fuck out. like
The night's over. Get the fuck out.
like lights on. Get your panties. Get
Get
your
your
shorts.
things.
And get your bag that you brought over here. It's time to exit. I can't do the crying and stuff. I'm not a good crying. I'm not a good crying. I'm not a good crying person.
That's
I
why.
I don't like if somebody else cries to me. I'm cool. Like if somebody I know cry, like if for example, if they cried to me, I would not like I would be okay because I know them. But like for people I just don't know, I don't like crying. Like when people get
But
on
like,
like
if you're
TikTok,
sleeping with someone and they start crying, what's your reaction?
turn off. Like you have like it just makes you oh y'all. Oh, I don't want to
Rob,
tell this
you're
story, but I'm
brutal.
gonna
You're
tell you.
telling me to keep it together? Like,
Get your shit together.
Dog, I'm gonna tell you a story. It was me and this girl, it was sophomore year of college. Me and this girl we were in my dorm, clothes off in the bed, and next thing you know, she starts getting emotional and she starts like, oh, this is the first time outside of my ex, clothes on. I was just turned off.
but
It was just
hold on, but did you leave? Because you know clothes can come back off and you can
it
get
was
back
my
to
dorm. I had to stay. It was my dorm. It was just like the mood was off. Like turn the lights on, turn the movie back on. I'm good after that. Like it wasn't good no more.
So you didn't do it?
He's
No,
lying.
it was ruined. It was ruined.
So what did you
Right
say?
hand to God. Right hand to God.
You
How
did
did
you
so
send
what
did
how
you
did
send her home or you let her spend the night?
She spent the night.
Yeah, I was like, we know she spent the night. Rob's not an asshole. He's
Yeah.
I'm not as much as I'm portraying. She spent the night.
And did you get her breakfast in the morning?
No, I walked her to her car though.
See, you a gentleman. You out here talking big shit on TikTok, but you're not an asshole in real life.
I'm a real simp in
Who do
real
you
life,
want to
y'all.
see host the reunion? Me. I want to see us three host the reunion.
Not Nikki Vanessa. Nikki
I
Vanessa
really-
can't do anything for us.
And I think let me see the question. Who would I like? I think Cammy.
Yeah.
I think
I
Cammy,
want
like,
Michelle Buteau to host the reunion because she's one of my favorite comedians. I like what she does with The Circle, but more than that, she's fucking funny. And I think that having someone witty that can like follow a lead and like get the facts done. I don't want Cameron and Lauren to host. Like I like them getting their bag.
Yeah.
I
y'all
don't
say
think
that.
fucking host y'all.
I don't want a couple hosting. I believe reunion should be hosted by one person and one person only.
Okay, no, who can host? That's a former cast member. This may be ruffle feathers, but Shake. Shake was the only one his season doing the work at the reunion, asking the real fucking questions.
I personally would watch.
I would watch Shake host for sure.
Shake would ask.
Andy Cohen too. I've said him too. Yeah, I think he would be a good host.
But yeah, I would watch. I want one host. I'm gonna tell you, I don't care. Like, I think one host would be fine. Cause like when you got a second host, I feel like it becomes like kind of a back and forth like thing. Like, I gotta ask you a question. I gotta ask you a question. And I feel like one person kind of just combines everything together. And you gotta have a person that's kind of like firm and aggressive. And then also you gotta have a person that's not afraid to ask real questions, because I feel like when you ask questions, like it's just like things come up and then it's just like, why is that not talked about?
Who was the second person you said, Ricky?
I said Andy Cohen.
Oh, Andy too. Okay, question for y'all.
Would you three go on Love is Blind? Well, I should
want to know what question also y'all would ask at the reunion and to who.
Ooh, that's a
I think we should ask that like once we've seen everything. Because
right now, though, let's just say like if the reunion was now, like, and you had one question to one cast member as of now, who would it be and what would it be?
I think my question would be to Aaliyah, and I would ask her to elaborate on what the cast member told her directly about what Aaliyah said and did. What was the conversation that led to the big argument is what I would want to know. Because honestly, like, did she confront her on like crazy, like you being crazy? Like on something like, were you being crazy? Because I want to know, like, what was the conversation had?
Somebody said they would ask Izzy what his credit score is.
Honestly, you win. Because, like, if we could ask Izzy that, we know he's not going to answer, but we know we're going to piss him off. That's such a good question.
Like, if you're
I'd
not proud
ask
enough
Stacy why she didn't blend out her contour. No, I'm just playing. Honestly, I think I would low-key ask JP, like, what the fuck is up with all the fucking all the American merch? Like, and I would ask him where he was at on January 6th.
We're gonna get out. We're gonna get to that answer one way or another. We're gonna find out.
I would definitely ask him that. Shit.
And I'm trying to think of if there's anything else I would
Do you guys think Love is Blind? Somebody asked that like 50
Of course it is. There's a whole show about people that are dating folks in prison who never get to see them in person. Like I know that it's possible to have an emotional connection with someone without seeing them, but once it comes together, I don't think it's about being blind, but there has to be something that like translates from digital to in person. I think arranged marriages work, but I think that arranged marriages, they're focused on staying in the marriage. One of my friends was celebrating their parents being married for 30 years today, but their parents are like toxic. And so we were just talking about the fact the only reason you're celebrating 30 years of marriage is because you didn't get divorced. Now, it doesn't mean that they're modeling a type of love that you want to replicate. So, like, I think we big up people for staying in something versus bigging up people for modeling happiness or love or communication.
Okay, that's valid, and I do think Love is Blind. I think
love can be blind if you bring honesty to the table. I feel like it only works when you're being honest and vulnerable, and if you're in that position to where you're emotionally mature enough to kind of accept what the person on the other side can bring to you. Also, what it takes,
I think you do. A level of attraction does have to be there, though. I do think you have to be attracted to something.
It does matter, but I definitely think I personally don't know what it would be like, but I personally feel like the connection could make you like you might not be necessarily 100% attracted to them, but like just because their personality, they've been honest with you, and you come to a certain degree. I feel like it gets to the point to where it don't matter to a certain degree on like if they're like they're fine because I feel like there's a like because I mean I think most of us would we would be cool with some. Never mind, never mind.
No, just say it.
Never mind. I feel like most of us, you know, average people are average people. Like I mean, most people are average, so I just feel like it's I just feel like as long as you got a deeper connection, I feel like it could work. But you just have to be honest about like what you want and like what you see and like what's that. It's just honesty, and I feel like that's what a lot of people lack on these shows. And people come on these shows don't know how to be emotionally vulnerable. Like
That's
they're
not
too
fitting
big.
for relationships. When Stacy was talking about, oh, I've never been good at this stuff, I'm like, you're 33 and you've never had any emotional vulnerability. To me, they're all red flags. Like none of these people are ready for relationships. I think that like no one thinks they're gonna meet somebody, and it's fun.
And then I feel like so many people force it. It's just like if you don't have something in common with somebody, you don't have something in common with a body. I feel like these people kind of push the narrative like they have to have something in common with these people to um kind of connect with them. Like they'll be like,
You
"Oh,
don't need one thing.
huh."
You don't think you need at least one thing in common?
I feel like it'd be one thing in common, but I feel like some people force it, like force certain things to kind of like force certain things so they can compare to each other. Like, tell me something, and then this is like, oh, like I love tomato soup. Oh, I love tomato soup too. And they like, in their part, it's just like we've built an emotional connection. Y'all literally just said y'all like tomato
Someone
soup.
did that last season. I can't
Didn't
remember.
Lydia do that with Izzy? She was like, "What's your favorite color?" And he said his favorite color. She was like, "Oh my god, mine too!" Like, girl, are you?
Did y'all peep when Stacy told Izzy not to start speaking Spanish with Lydia because she wouldn't understand what they were saying? That to me was her insecure vibes. I was like, Lydia has you pressed. Like, I don't know. I don't like the way they've handled language this season, like being bilingual. But like her mentioning to Izzy, don't speak Spanish with Lydia.
Yeah, I promise y'all, this is gonna be the last question I ask for the night. We did not talk. What were y'all thoughts on the conversation that Izzy and Lydia had? We didn't bring that up.
I think it wasn't worth mentioning. That's why we didn't bring it up. I didn't even remember it in my video. I don't really remember it now. Like I just remember him saying, "I really did have feelings for you." No, you didn't, sir. And it was exactly the point. Like no hard feelings. We don't even need to talk because I'm over here with it, bitch.
Right. I heard her say like Izzy is the type that she normally goes for. But I agree with you, Ricky, where it was like, oh, okay, they both were like, cool story, bro, but you don't have stability. They both are looking for a come up, and they weren't the come up for each other
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we
Agree.
gonna say good night, y'all, because we've been on here for a long time. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The last time we got off the live, it was 1:31. I was like, I can't believe I've been up
We
this
have
long.
10 minutes until Beyonce's announcement.
And we've
What
been
time is
on
it?
live for nearly
What time
4
is it?
hours.
It's 12:50 your time.
It don't come out till 2 a.m. my time.
1 a.m. your time.
It said 2 on the clock.
Did it?
Yeah, it said
Parkwood.
2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. on my time. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be asleep. I'm
That's
gonna be
okay. We'll
asleep.
get you a ticket. We'll get you a ticket to
The
LA
ticket's gonna
to
be
watch.
hopefully they be like hopefully they announce the visuals and then it's just like the tickets gonna go on sale Friday the 29th. Wait, no, it's October already. They're gonna
Rob,
go on
can
sale.
we do one last poll? Can we ask folks if we did a meetup live, like a live meetup with everyone, if they would come?
Oh, I'm gonna see. Let me add one.
Rob's like the youngest old man ever in life. You're like so young, but that is the Southern.
Thank you guys for joining us on this live. It was so much fun.
And we're all putting all the good energy out there for Rob's interviews this week.
I'm in California. I'm located in California.
I'm in Seattle.
I don't know. I think it'll be fun. Like,
Rob, are you going to
ooh.
tell them what state you're in or what city you're in?
Oh, I'm in Kentucky.
Kentucky.
In good old Kentucky.
It's
And
been so fun. Thank you
Lexington,
guys.
I appreciate y'all. Like, we are so excited.
I went to college in Missouri. Do y'all know that I actually looked at Ticketmaster to see tickets for Kansas City for Beyonce? And I was like, girl, sit fucking down. What are you
I
doing?
feel like
Don't you do not need.
I feel like they probably went up after the fact.
There were a lot. Resellers need to be stopped. So many people would have like loved to experience this, but like you had to wait to the last minute to find a good deal.
Yeah.
The La La Doll said, "What is it like in Kentucky? Like Kentucky is really Kentucky to me. It kind of just depends on where you are. The big major city is, of course, Louisville and Lexington. Louisville is kind of like Memphis. It's Memphis of the Tennessee, like Memphis of Tennessee. Like it's like you got Tennessee and then you got Memphis, and like Kentucky, you got Kentucky, then you got Louisville. It's like two different things. And then Lexington's super chill. Like it's a very chill state. I wouldn't recommend like any small towns, of course, but like." If y'all looking for diversity, like Louisville and then Lexington is really chill. It's very it's not a large city, but it's big enough. It's big enough. It has an airport. It has an airport. I went to school. I went to the University of Kentucky. It's big enough. Like it's a good sized city. Like I could live on. Uh,
They said don't play on Louisville like that. We are
y'all
not
not Memphis.
Memphis.
It's not Memphis. It's like I'm comparing it to Memphis. Like it stands on own. It's like Louisville is
Isn't
by.
Memphis amazing? Like people don't like Memphis because Memphis has 3 6 Mafia.
Justin
So
Timberlake's from Memphis. Fun
I
fact.
was like, Memphis is superior. Are we like?
It's just
shitting
like
on
one.
Memphis?
It's just one of those things that just stand out alone. Like Memphis is by itself. Like it's not Memphis. It's just like Memphis, and then like Tennessee to me,
Yeah.
and then it's just like Louisville, and then it's Kentucky. Like it just
They
separates
said
itself.
Memphis is rough. Well, I
It
like
is.
Memphis for the talent. It's the 3 6 Mafia.
Yeah.
And y'all,
Where Justin Timberlake's from?
wait, Ricky, when I was in New Orleans, I swear to God, I saw the balcony that Justin Timberlake got caught cheating on, and I have a photo in
You
my
need
phone.
to say caught cheating with like he was not caught cheating. This is how rumors get started. You're spreading fake news about my man.
This is old. This was old. I told
They
my
were
girlfriend
not
that I was
cheating.
with.
They grazed hands. That is not cheating. He did not kiss this woman. He held her hand. That was it. Okay. That was
I
it.
told my girlfriend, I was like, oh my God, I think that's the balcony that Justin Timberlake got caught cheating on. I'm going to send this to Ricky, but then you hit the Bourbon Street starts hitting. So I said, I'm going to send it to you later. It's in my phone. I
didn't
swear
get
it
caught
was.
cheating. I know it with that co-star. I know what
You
happened.
sound like the girl who was caping for, not SK, for Uche yesterday or the other day.
He was not cheating. I know this. I went and looked up the pictures again. It was he held her hand. Okay, so if you want to consider a handhold cheating, then okay. But I mean, was it inappropriate? Sure.
But
oh my God, I love it. When are we doing our next live? Because the next episodes come out on Friday.
Ooh.
We did really good planning this last time before we got off.
We did. Are y'all gonna be free Sunday? I feel like Sunday was a good time.
Yeah, I'll be free Sunday. What's the date? Sunday.
The 8th. I'm free on that day.
I could be free.
Okay.
Sunday, guys.
They were like, why he holding other hands all over the place?
I didn't say it was right. He should not have been holding hands. Okay. I can't. You got me there, but it's not cheating.
Oh my. Okay, next week. How many episodes drop next week?
Only 2.
Probably the final 2, like the whatever's left, and then the weddings. There's only 2 weddings, so.
Yeah, there's 2 episodes, and then I have the 1 episode finale, I think, by itself the next week.
He did not kiss her.
So 2 episodes this week, then 1 next week. I ain't gonna lie, we could probably do a midday live for a little second.
If a little second? Episode. It ain't gonna be a little second.
There is only 1 episode.
I'm open all day. I'm going to brunch, but that's like fine because we're West Coast, so like whatever time works for y'all, I can do.
Yeah. So next Sunday, guys, we'll be here next Sunday.
You wanna do the same time?
Rob, are you putting? I think Ricky has put a live on YouTube before.
I can. I had put the Hannah Beth one.
I usually like the last one we did. I uploaded it, unlisted it because I know you was like trying to take screen recordings. I can put it up, which is not fine. So yeah, I can actually put it up if I'll download tomorrow because I don't know. Yeah. It's late.
You're going to sleep.
It's
Yeah.
late in Atlanta, like Nene said. But yeah, I'll probably download it and upload it tomorrow. And I probably because I know there was a lot of people. There was like people saying like, "Oh, y'all should do a podcast." Then there was like people like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss it," so I probably will upload it on
Yeah,
YouTube.
a few people asked me to put it up, and I told him, "Oh, Rob's gonna put it up on his
I probably
YouTube.
will.
I could put it up on mine as well."
So yeah, so I'll probably do that, and then like I'll let them know so they can like repost on their page what we do because it was a long time. I ain't gonna lie, we've been on here for a while, but just like every time y'all, we get to talking and we get to talking.
But Rob, thank you for having that as your backdrop. I think it helped to have the list, so I
It
appreciate you
did.
for
For
doing
It
that.
really
sure, I
did.
think so too.
What is Robert's channel called? It's just Robert Buck. It's just Robert Buckman, I think. Oh, I got 10%. I know I got to get off this
Okay,
phone.
Ricky, what is your YouTube called so folks can follow you on there?
Story time with Ricky.
And
I'll
mine
post
is
my. I'll post.
627 blog.
I'll post my YouTube. I'll post the YouTube tomorrow. When I upload it. Hopefully, I remind myself. So yeah. Let me get off this phone before this phone dies.
Thank
I
you
appreciate that
guys.
so
It was
much.
so much fun.
Bye, y'all.
I see y'all.
Bye.